From historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today it's opening day 2.0 as the Rivets begin the second half against the 19-15 Kenosha Kingfish. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining me. It's Larry Larson in with you on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. And the Rivets have a fresh start starting today. Their record might as well be 0-0 as the first half wrapped up yesterday, and the Rivets have a new chance to battle for a playoff spot in the second half. The Northwoods League has a first half, second half setup where the division winner in each half gets a berth into the postseason. And so after the Rivets found themselves out of contention in the Great Lakes East in the first half, they now have a fresh start for the second half. Today they battle their Great Lakes East rival, the Kenosha Kingfish, who are a little closer to that first half playoff spot than the Rockford Rivets, as Kenosha finished the first half 19-15, just one game behind the champion Traverse City Pittsburghers, who finished the half 21-15. The Rivets enter this contest having lost 7 of their last 9 games, but last night comes with a little bit of an asterisk, as the Rivets lost 7-6 on the road at Fond du Lac. But then after the game, the Northwoods League came down and decided that the game would be ruled a no contest for the Rivets and a loss for the Dock Spiders, as Fond du Lac used an ineligible pitcher due to the pitch count rules that the league has established. And that ineligible pitcher was Fond du Lac's closer, Nathan Thomas, who allowed 2 runs in the 9th, and the Rivets would ultimately fall short, but now it doesn't count against them as the Rivets get the last laugh and they take that season series with the Dock Spiders 2-1. So that was an interesting way to end the first half. So technically, the Rivets have won 2 games in a row as they beat Fond du Lac in the first game of the series 2 games ago. And in the standings column, it says the Rivets have won 2 games, even though yesterday's game does not count towards their win total. Taking a look at today's pitching matchup here in Kenosha, going for Rockford, making his first start, is the junior from North Carolina, Michael O., and he'll square off against the right-hander from Marietta College, Dalton Wiggins. Wiggins has pitched against the Rivets before for the Kingfish, and taking a look at his numbers entering tonight's matchup, he's made 5 starts. He's got an ERA of 4.03 in 22 1/3 innings, with a record of 0-0. He's been pretty consistent, with the exception of a very rough first outing of the season, in which he allowed 6 earned runs to the Traverse City Pittsburghers on June 5th. Since, he has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start, so his ERA continues to descend. The Rivets, on the other hand, have Michael O going, and O is making his first start of the season tonight. He's got 2 prior appearances, and they've both been very, very good out of the bullpen for Rivets manager JT Scarra. In 8 innings pitched, O has an ERA of 1.13 with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. And after JT Scarra saw O pitch 5 1/3 innings on June 29th against Battle Creek, he decided that he was going to move him into the rotation. So O, the Illinois native, gets his first start tonight. I talked to him before the game, and I asked him when was the last time he made a start, and he told me during the COVID season at North Carolina. He said very early in the year, it may have been in February. So O is dusting off the starter's role tonight, and he'll look to get the Rivets back on track after Noah DeLuga had a very rough start yesterday. Went just 1 2/3, allowing 6 hits and 6 earned runs in just 1 2/3. He did not make it through the second inning, and the Rivets have continued to struggle mightily in the first 2 innings of games this season, as they have allowed 85 runs in those 2 innings across the team's 36 games played. Taking a look at today's conditions here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, it is sunny, but it is very hot and very windy, as we've got papers blowing all over the press box up here high above Simmons Field, but the temperature is hovering at 89 degrees. Currently no clouds overhead. The sky is very light blue, and the wind is blowing, I would say, at 10 to 15 miles per hour at any given point, as you hear it blow through the press box right now. It's an all-natural grass surface at Simmons Field. And the field is 101 years old. It's been here in Kenosha for a very long time, needless to say. The dimensions favor the hitters here in Kenosha, as it's 314 directly down the left field line. But then straight away to left field, it is 300 straight on, as the Fishbowl Club, a seating area, juts out into left field and provides a little bit of a short porch for right-handed batters. On the other side of things, down the right field line, it is 330 down the line, and that's really tough for left-handed batters to reach, but Brody Harding went yard out of here down the right field line the last time the Rivets played here. They belted 3 home runs, in fact, 2 of them to the short porch and left, and that one over the wall in right. We're moments away from game time. Great Lakes East rivals doing battle. Rivets and Kenosha Kingfish meeting for the first time since early June. The last 2 meetings between these squads were held on June 10th and June 11th. The Rivets have taken each of the last 2 matchups, and they own the season series lead 3-1. We're about 2 minutes away from baseball. We're going to step aside for a brief break and come back with the starting lineups and baseball after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Welcome back to Kenosha, where the Rockford Rivets are about to take on their Great Lakes East rival, the Kenosha Kingfish, for the first game of the second half. Records resetting, both teams with a new chance to make the playoffs in the closing half of the season. Let's get you the starting lineups. First for the Rockford Rivets, as they are managed by JT Scara, but Scara not the acting manager tonight, as he is serving the second game of his 3-game suspension. So Doug Coe is the Rivets acting manager. And here's his lineup card. Shamar Page, the junior from Louisiana Tech, bats leadoff, and he's the DH. Phil Matulia out in right field, batting second. And Wade Elliott bats third, playing second base. So 3 Louisiana Tech boys at the top of the order. Daniel Cantu, the redshirt freshman from South Florida, plays left field and bats cleanup. Tommy Benson will bat fifth and play third base. Brian Fuentes, who belted his first home run of the season last night, gets slotted in the 6th hole, playing first base. Tyler Hawkins plays center field, batting 7th. Brody Harding is the shortstop, batting 8th. And Grant McGill will bat 9th and do the catching for Michael O. Those are the Rivets. These are the Kingfish, managed by Mike Percaro. McKay Barney, the sophomore from Washington, will play center field and lead off. Carmine Lane, the redshirt freshman from USF, is in left field, batting second. Casey O'Laughlin, the junior from Azusa Pacific, will play first base and bat third. Luke Stevenson, the junior from Xavier, is the catcher. He's the cleanup man tonight. Vince Bianchina, the freshman from Northwestern, is the DH, batting fifth. Dustin Crenshaw, the freshman from GCU, is the second baseman. Cam Collier, the freshman from South Florida, is in right field, batting seventh. Chase Estep, a former Rockford Rivet, sophomore from Kentucky, is the third baseman, batting eighth. And Xavier Watson, the redshirt freshman from Illinois, rounds it out, batting ninth and playing shortstop. And that's the defense and lineup behind Kenosha starter Dalton Wiggins. Wiggins, the junior from Marietta College, has pitched against the Rivets before, enters this one with a clean record of 0-0, but he's made 5 starts with a 4.03 ERA. The Kingfish are in their home tan uniforms, a vanilla color to them, with navy blue lettering across the front with red trim. Blue numbers on the back, also with red trim, with matching vanilla caps with navy blue brims. As for the Rivets, they will wear their road grays with gold trim and gold lettering and numbering on the front and the back. Shamar Page, the left-handed batter, approaches the batting box, looks out at Dalton Wiggins, and watches the first pitch in there for a called strike one at 6:09 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. Page has batted leadoff before, but not in a while. Here's the kick and the 0-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. I asked Page if he's ever batted in the top spot, and he told me almost every game in high school his senior year. Sports an open batting stance. Wiggins has the sign, and here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Page batted a astounding .585 his senior year of high school, batting almost all the time in the leadoff spot. And the 2-1, a fastball misses outside again to Page, and it's 3-1. So you could say that Page is comfortable in that spot in the order. Wiggins kicks and delivers the 3-1. Fastball misses, you guessed it, outside, and Shamar Page draws a leadoff walk to start the ball game in the top of the first. Scoreless between Rockford and Kenosha, and here's the second Louisiana Tech Bulldog, Phil Matulia, climbing in the left-handed batter's box. A lefty-heavy order for Rivets acting manager Doug Coe. 4 lefties and 1 switch hitter. Matulia was 0 for 1 last night, made a pinch hit appearance in a Rivets loss that doesn't count as a loss in the standings. He struck out to end the game as a pinch hitter. First pitch to him, swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Carmine Lane comes in and now goes out. He lost the baseball. It drops behind him. Shamar Page on his horse going from first to third. He slides in safely as the throw was offline, and the Rivets have runners on second and third with no outs in the top of the first. That'll be ruled a double for Phil Matulia, more likely than not, as Lane just did not touch the baseball. He first started coming in. Looked like that was going to hang up, but then Lane had to turn around, and he started sprinting backwards, and it landed over his shoulder. Big opportunity for the Rivets in the top of the first. Looking to strike first, and here's Wade Elliott. Righty on righty, the first pitch to him. Swung on, low line drive, drops into left field. Shamar Page in to score. Matulia around third. He scores standing. It's a 2 RBI single for Wade Elliott, who dives back safely into first base, and the Rivets strike first. It's 2-0 in the first frame. It's the second time in 3 games, I should say, that Wade Elliott has a 2 RBI single in the first inning. He did it 2 days ago on the 4th of July in Fond du Lac as the Rivets scored 6 in the first inning. And now they jump all over Dalton Wiggins. here in the first. Now Daniel Cantu climbs in, another left-handed batter. First pitch from the righty Wiggins. Fastball cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Elliott now tied for the Rivets team lead in RBIs with 21. He stands on first base. Cantu did not play yesterday. He's batting .333. An imposing figure from the left side. And the 0-1 misses downstairs. Throw down to first in time to get Wade Elliott. Casey O'Loughlin, the first baseman, slapping the tag down. A great throw from Luke Stevenson. Picks off Wade Elliott, and that's the first out of the ball game. So after Wiggins allows the first three batters to reach, Wade Elliott is picked off. And now the count is 1-1 on Daniel Cantu as Wiggins will go back to the windup. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. Cantu, for as big a guy as he is, you'd expect him to strike out a little bit more. Standing at 6'3", 216 pounds, swings a heavy bat. But he's only got 12 strikeouts to 12 walks. Here's the 1-2, swung on and tapped to second base. Crenshaw waits back on it, gobbles it up, and throws sidearm in time to first base for the second out of the inning. Score at 4-3. Rivets lead 2-0 in the top of the first. And here's Tommy Benson with the bases empty. Benson rocking long black socks. They look like Nike Elites that don't exactly match the Rivets' gray uniform. Benson with an open batting stance. The first pitch from Dalton Wiggins. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 1-0. Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton College, played yesterday and went 1 for 5. He's reached in all 6 games as a Rivet. And the 1-0, a fastball blazes outside of the zone to the left-handed batting Benson. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Wiggins working from the right side of the rubber. Comes home with a 2-0. Fastball outside again in the right-handed batter's box. And it's 3-0. Wiggins issued a walk to Shamar Page to start this ball game, and Page came around to score on the 2 RBI single by Wade Elliott. Wiggins has the sign. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside this time, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Tommy Benson. And the Rivets have another base runner, this time with 2 outs, as Brian Fuentes steps in the box. Rivets 2, Kenosha nothing. They've yet to bat in this one. A long first inning for the righty from Marietta College, Dalton Wiggins, who didn't exactly struggle against the Rivets in his first start against him on June 10th. Went 5 innings, allowed 2 earned runs. Righty on righty. Wiggins sets at the belt, and the first pitch to Fuentes. Fastball misses below the knees, taken for ball 1. Fuentes went 1 for 3 yesterday with a home run and 2 RBIs. His first home run of the season, and it came in the 9th inning, with the Rivets trailing by 3, and a 2-run home run got them within 1. Here's the 1-0, swung on and crushed. Deep left field, that sends Lane back at the track, and he watches it sail way out of here. The second home run in 2 games for the redshirt freshman from Indiana State makes it 4-0 Rivets in the top of the first. Stay hot, Brian Fuentes. Fuentes hops a little bit before he touches home plate, and it's safe to say his bat is heated up. Wide smile on his face as he walks back into the Rivets' first base dugout. You can make the argument that he's the hottest bat on this Rivets roster right now. Rivets with a 4 spot in the top of the first. Here's Tyler Hawkins with 2 outs and the bases empty, righty on righty. First pitch from Wiggins, cut on and missed. A fastball on the inner half. It's 0-1. Hawkins with a bat on his shoulder, the 0-1. Off speed misses low near the ankles. And it's even at 1 apiece. Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, batting .283 this season. The 1-1 swung on and slapped down the right field line, foul. Hawkins thought that might be foul the whole time, but it was pretty close to me, landing foul by about 3 feet. And now the PA announcer prompts the crowd to start chanting, as Hawkins is the beer batter. So if he goes down on strikes, like he has done 33 other times this season, the fans get discounted beer. Wiggins turns and delivers the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Hawkins is sent down to end the first inning. He's frustrated going back to the first base dugout, but the Rivets sure aren't, as they score 4 times in the top of the first off of Dalton Wiggins, including a 2 RBI single from Wade Elliott and a 2-run home run from Brian Fuentes. And after a half, it's Rivets 4, Kingfish coming up on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rivets 4, Kingfish nothing after just a half inning at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Rivets starting the second half of the Northwoods League season with a bang, including a 2-run home run from Brian Fuentes in the top of the first. And Michael O., the right-hander from North Carolina, has 4 runs of support as he takes the mound for his first start of the summer. He'll face McKay Barney, Carmine Lane, and Casey O'Laughlin at the very least to start his day. O has 2 prior appearances, has gone 8 innings, and pitched to an ERA of 1.13. McKay Barney, the sophomore from Washington, climbs in the left-handed batter's box, batting .325, one of a few very, very good batting averages on this Kenosha lineup card. Michael O working from the stretch with nobody on, sets at the belt, and his first pitch of the day is a fastball that misses down and inside. 1-0. Grant McGill will do the catching for Michael O. Tommy Benson at third base, Brody Harding at shortstop, Wade Elliott at second, Brian Fuentes at first, and the outfield from left to right, Daniel Cantu, Tyler Hawkins, and Phil Matulia. McKay Barney was 1 for 4 yesterday, and a Kingfish loss to the Madison Mallards. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, line drive into shallow left field. That one will fall for a single. It's cut off by Hawkins, who chucks it back into the infield. Hawkins, the center fielder, ranging into Cantu's territory to get that thing back in. But after the Kingfish allow 4 runs in the top of the first, their leadoff man is aboard in the form of McKay Barney. So here's Carmine Lane, the redshirt freshman from South Florida. Was also 1 for 4 in yesterday's Kenosha loss. Lane playing against a few of his Bull teammates. Oh, steps off and throws over to first base to check on Barney. He's back safely. Barney has good speed. Most center fielders do. He's got a big lead off of first. And O comes home with the first pitch, misses down and away. Sends McGill reaching across his body. And that's ball 1. Grant McGill, you could argue, has one of the best arms in the Northwoods League, as he has caught the Northwoods League base stealer leader, Chandler Simpson, stealing twice. Here's the set and the 1-0. Fastball lined into shallow left field. That one hops in front of Cantu. He picks it up and throws it into third base. Barney moves up 90 feet to second, and it's back-to-back singles to start the ball game off of Michael O in the bottom of the first. Rivets lead 4-0. And here's Casey O'Laughlin, the junior from Azusa Pacific. O'Laughlin did not play yesterday. He's batting .250 this season. The transfer from Northwestern to Azusa Pacific. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. O comes set at the belt. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball on the outer half. It's 0-1. Big pitch there from O. Getting the swing and miss after he's been knocked around a little bit today. O'Laughlin fiddles with the bat in the left-handed batter's box. Holds it close to his helmet. Above his left shoulder. O comes home with the 0-1. Fastball misses high. It's 1-1. Yesterday, Rivets starter Noah DeLuga let up a run in the first, and then the floodgates opened in the second when he let up 5. The wind continues to blow in Kenosha. Long pause from O, and now the 1-1. Swung on, line drive up the middle into center field. Hawkins fields it. Barney gets the stop sign at third base, and it's 3 straight singles off of Michael O to start the ball game in the bottom of the first. Rivets scoring 4 times in the top half, and now the Fish responding with knock after knock in their half. Michael O gets some words of encouragement from Brian Fuentes, his first baseman, and now his catcher, Grant McGill, talking it over with the right-hander. O has looked nothing but solid out of the bullpen for the Rivets so far this summer. So maybe that transition into the starter's role has thrown him for a loop. We talked in the pregame show about how O has not made a start since his COVID season at North Carolina in 2020. That start came in the month of February. So it was very early in the season before the rest of the campaign got canceled. But back here in the summer of 2021, O faces the bases loaded in the bottom of the first against the cleanup batter Luke Stevenson, the junior from Xavier. Righty on righty, and the first pitch. Breaking ball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. A nice curveball from O, showing he can throw it for a strike early in counts. Luke Stevenson batting .258 this summer, but has 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. Was 0 for 3 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. O could use a K here. 0-1. Breaking ball just misses inside. Stevenson turned away from it. Thought that was going to run inside. It did indeed miss the zone, and it's back even at 1 apiece. Tommy Benson about even with the bag at third base. Rivets infield at double play depth. Brian Fuentes behind the runner at first base. That's Casey O'Laughlin. Here's the 1-1 offering. Breaking ball misses outside. About a ball off the plate. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 straight breakers from O to start this AB. O nods at the sign from McGill. Sets at the belt. And now throws the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hammered well foul down the third base line into the parking lot. I would not park my car in that parking lot outside of the third base line here at Kenosha. It's very, very close to the field for a parking lot. And not many barriers between home plate and said parking lot. Now the count is 2-2 on Luke Stevenson. No outs, bases loaded. Rivets lead 4-0, bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside and it's full. Nowhere to put Luke Stevenson. Vince Bianchina waits on deck. Rivets have allowed 85 runs in the first 2 innings this season. Looking to avoid a catastrophic one here in the first. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. And that's ball 4. Walks in a run as McKay Barney scores from third base. And the Rivets lead is cut to 4-1. A discouraging welcome to the starting rotation for Michael O. As Carmine Lane moves to third, Casey O'Laughlin up to second. Stevenson now on first for Vince Bianchina, the switch hitter from Northwestern. He's got a hit in 4 of his last 5 games. Standing at 5'10", 185 pounds from the left side this at-bat. And the first pitch from the righty O. Fastball splits the plate. Taken for a called strike 1, 0-1. Bianchina played in yesterday's Kenosha loss, went 1 for 2 with a walk. Facing the Rivets for the first time this season. Native of Lafayette, California. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a tapper up the third base line, rolling in foul territory, and Benson grabs it just as it almost rolled back fair. Bianchina bounced it almost directly in front of the plate. It started rolling up the line, and then it started to bend back into fair territory. So a heads-up play by Benson to grab that thing swiftly. So it's quickly 0-2 on the Kenosha DH. Bianchina taps the inside part of the plate. Has an open batting stance with his back foot on the chalk line on the inside part of the batter's box. Nods at Grant McGill, and time is called. A train zips by outside the left field wall. That would be the right field wall. Must be a busy train track. A lot of trains coming by. And now the 0-2 to Bianchina. Breaking ball. Jam shot foul over the screen. We'll do it again. Bianchina has 5 RBIs this summer. One of a few members of the Big Ten Conference on this Kingfish roster. Most of the players belonging to either Northwestern or Illinois. Here's the kick and another 0-2. Fastball misses in the dirt. It's 1-2. Rivets lead the Kingfish 4-1. We're still in the first inning. So if you like offense, be sure to stay tuned into this ball game. Lots of early action for the Rivets in the last few games. In their 2-game series against Fond du Lac. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And the pitch gets away from Grant McGill. So Carmine Lane comes in to score from third base. It's a drop third strike for the first out of the inning. And that allows the second run of the frame to come in to score. Heads up base running by Carmine Lane, staying on his toes. based on the way that ball kicked away from the catcher McGill, I thought that maybe it was tipped, but it was not. And Bianchina is the first out of the first inning. Runners on the corners for Dustin Crenshaw, another left-handed batter. Casey O'Loughlin on third base, Luke Stevenson on first. Here's the first pitch for Mo. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Crenshaw chasing that one. And it's 0-1. Crenshaw batting under the Mendoza line, 175, with 19 strikeouts to just 5 walks. Oh, throws over to check on Luke Stevenson at first base. He dives back safely. I asked O what he prefers, starting or coming out of the bullpen before today's game. 0-1, off speed misses outside, 1-1. He said, well, I got to think about that. And then his answer was inconclusive. He said, I just like throwing. Maybe he doesn't like throwing in this first inning, as he's allowed 2 runs. Rivets lead 4-2. O gives a look at the runner on third base, O'Loughlin, and comes home with a 1-1. Swung on and popped up. On the infield, the third baseman, Benson, ranges into the grass and makes the play with 2 hands for out number 2. A big second out for Michael O, as that takes the sacrifice fly out of play. Now there's 2 down with runners on the corners for Cam Collier. 2 runs in here in the bottom of the first. Rivets 4, Kingfish 2. Chase Estep, the former Rivet, waits on deck. Sophomore from Kentucky. Righty on righty matchup here with Collier. And the first pitch to the USF Bull. Fastball misses high above the letters, 1-0. Collier riding a young 3-game on-base streak. The St. Petersburg, Florida native. Not far from Tampa, where USF is located. O sets, and the 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed. Collier with a big swing there. And it's 1-1. Collier making his first appearance this season against Rockford. It's been a while since these last 2 teams have met. Last meeting coming back on June the 11th. 1-1 from O. Breaking ball misses outside, tailing too far to the righty Collier. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. O'Loughlin not far from the third base bag, not being held by Tommy Benson. Brian Fuentes holding on Luke Stevenson at first. Stevenson probably won't be going anywhere as the catcher. Here's the 2-1. Fastball runs inside. McGill reaches near the shoe tops of Collier to make the catch. And it's 3-1. O at 25 pitches in this first inning. Needs to stay below 35 if he wants to come out for the second frame. He comes set, and now the 3-1 pitch. Fastball called strike on a pitch that painted the outside corner, and the count is full. O quickly back on the rubber. Licks his fingers for grip. Gazes in for the sign, working from the left side. Sets in a slightly closed stance. And now the payoff pitch to Cam Collier. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Phil Matulia underneath it. He makes the play, and the inning comes to an end. But a very long first inning as the Rivets score 4 in the top half, and Kenosha responds with 2 in the bottom half on a RBI walk with the bases loaded by Luke Stevenson and a wild pitch that allowed Carmine Lane to score. And it's 4-2 after 1 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second inning, Rivets leading the Kenosha Kingfish 4-2 in the opening game of the second half in this Northwoods League season. Rivets jumping all over Dalton Wiggins in the top of the first inning with a 2 RBI single from Wade Elliott and a 2-run home run from Brian Fuentes. But the Kingfish did not stay down for long as they responded with 2 off of Michael O in the bottom half. So both pitchers getting roughed up early, and we'll see if the Rivets can add some more runs off the right-hander from Marietta College. Wiggins back out there for a second frame. He'll face 8-9-1 in the Rivets order, starting with Brody Harding. The sophomore from Illinois had the day off yesterday as the Rivets took on Fond du Lac. Wiggins from the windup. First pitch to the lefty. Fastball catches the outside corner. It's 0-1. Harding batting .278 with 1 home run. That long ball came here at Simmons Field. Here's the kick in the 0-1. Fastball sails on Wiggins, well too far outside, taken by Harding, 1-1. But Brody has developed a little bit more pop from the left side than we saw with the Rivets last summer. 1-1, misses low, 2-1. Harding hit 1 home run this spring at the University of Illinois, playing in about half of the Illini's games. Hitters count 2-1, laced down the right field line, and that one bounces off the wall. Harding on his horse, chugging into second. The throw is offline. Harding dives in head first, and he may have hurt himself on the slide as he is shaken up. Josue Urdaneta, serving as the Rivets' first base coach, is going to trot out there to check on his teammate. I think Harding will be all right. He's up on his feet now and hands his equipment to Josue. But the Rivets have a leadoff double in the top of the second. Harding crushed that ball. Must be something about Simmons Field for Harding, as he has a lot of power here. Another runner in scoring position for Rockford as the 9-batter Grant McGill climbs in as a train flies by behind the right center field fence. And Rivets leading 4-2, top of the second inning. Rivets already with 4 hits off of Dalton Wiggins. Righty on righty matchup. McGill, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, batting .156 this summer. Wiggins working from the stretch. Sets, looks at Harding, and now comes home with the first pitch. Fastball right down the heart, taken for a called strike 1. McGill did not play yesterday. The lower third of the Rivets order getting the day off yesterday. In an interesting game for the Rivets, which they lost, but it won't go as a loss in the loss column. Here's the pause in the 0-1. Breaking ball misses down and away, 1-1. But because Fond du Lac used an ineligible pitcher, Nathan Thomas, their closer, was not supposed to pitch yesterday. Was supposed to have a day of rest due to Northwoods League pitching count rules. That game is ruled a loss for the Dock Spiders, but a no contest for the Rivets. Here's the 1-1, swinging a chopper foul by the Kenosha dugout on the third base side, 1-2. You're probably thinking, well, why doesn't that count as a win for the Rivets? And the answer is I'm not entirely sure. However, it plays to the Rivets' advantage because now every win means more for them, just a little bit in terms of winning percentage for the rest of the season. And that winning percentage comes into play for the tiebreaker in the second half, should the Rivets need it. Here's the kick in the 1-2, swinging another tapper foul, this time off of Grant McGill, and it's still 1-2. But how the tiebreaker works in the second half is if Traverse City, who won the first half title and clinched their playoff berth yesterday, if they win the second half again, the second playoff spot in the Great Lakes East goes to the team with the second best overall winning percentage rather than best record or anything of that sort, or in the second half. The 1-2 swung on and chopped down to third base, and it eats up Chase Eastep. Brody Harding taking off for third, and he slides in safely, feet first this time, and Grant McGill reaches on an error by Estep at third base. The start to this game going from bad to worse for Dalton Wiggins, as the first two batters in the second inning have reached. Rivets lead 4-2, and here's the top of the order in Shamar Page. Page walked and scored in the first frame. Batting leadoff for the first time this summer. Playing in back-to-back games in the lineup for the first time this summer. He gazes out at the righty Wiggins, who comes home with the first pitch. Fastball called strike one, right at the knees to Page. And it's 0-1. Page, a two-way player for Rockford. Also a nice arm out of the bullpen for JT Scara. Rivets manager serving his second game of a 3-game suspension today, so Doug Coe is the acting manager. Here's the kick in the 0-1, swung on and lashed foul up the third base side, right to the camera operator behind third base. He recovers by tossing the baseball to a fan in the seats. And it's 0-2 on Page. Page has tendency to draw out at bats. He can foul off pitch after pitch after pitch. Yesterday in Fond du Lac, we saw Shamar have a 10-pitch at bat. It ended with a strikeout, but he wore down one of the Dock Spiders relievers, and the 0-2 is tapped foul in front of the Rivets first base dugout. So we'll do it again. Page paces around outside the left-handed batter's box. Takes a deep breath. Shrugs his shoulders as he stares out at Wiggins and now climbs back in the box. Bounces the knees. Looks very loose and comfortable from the left side. Spins the bat around a little bit in his hands. Brings it to his shoulder now. The set. And the 0-2 from Dalton Wiggins is on the way. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Very shallow to the shortstop Xavier Watson, who ranges towards the third base bag and makes the play. And that's out number one in the top of the second inning. Rivets lead it 4-2, and here's Phil Matulia, who doubled and scored in the first inning. It was a strange double as he sent what looked like a routine fly ball out to Carmine Lane in left field. Lane went in on it and then all of a sudden started running backwards as the ball sailed over his head. Lane didn't touch it on the fly, so no error, but a defensive gaffe, to put it that way. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, and the first pitch to Phil. Swung on and lifted down the third base line, tailing into the seats, foul. 0-1 on the junior from Louisiana Tech. Runners still on the corners. Harding on third base. He started the inning with a double. And Grant McGill on first base after following that double by sending a ground ball to Chase Estep at third, which Estep booted. First error of the ball game for either side. Corner shaded in. O'Laughlin holding on McGill on first base. Wiggins gives him a look. Comes set in an open stance, and here's the 0-1. Swinging a line drive into center field, sends Barney back. He's still on the run, and that one gets over his head. Harding will score easily from third base. Grant McGill on his horse. He's going to get the wave around third. Matulia in standing to third base. The throw to the plate nowhere near in time, and it's a 2 RBI triple for Phil Matulia, as the junior from Louisiana Tech is halfway to the cycle, and we're just in the second inning. That puts a runner on third base for Wade Elliott as the Rivets now lead 6-2 in the second inning. Elliott is 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI single last inning. Wiggins working from the windup, turns and delivers the first pitch. Breaking ball shot right at the second baseman, Dustin Crenshaw, who makes the grab for out number 2. Elliott slams his bat in frustration. Nothing he can do about that. Matulia remains on third base, and the inning comes down to Daniel Cantu. 2 runs in. Rivets lead it 6-2. 2 runs here in the second, 4 in the first, and the first pitch to the lefty Cantu Misses downstairs, knocked down by Stevenson to possibly save a run. And it's 1-0. Nice crowd on hand here in Kenosha on a Tuesday evening. Great night to watch a baseball game if it cools off a little. The 1-0, fastball tailing away, but catches a piece of the zone against Cantu, and it's 1-1. Temperature at first pitch was 89 degrees, but as the sun starts to set, it's gotten a little cooler. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, misses inside at the knees, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Phil Matulia's bat looked to be slowing down a little bit over the last 4 or 5 games or so, but now it looks like he's turned it right back on. The 2-1 cut on and missed on a fastball, and it's 2-2 on Cantu. But Matulia had a great season at Louisiana Tech this spring. Hit .311, 8 home runs, 37 RBIs, went 5 for 18 in the College World Series Regional, which Louisiana Tech hosted. The 2-2 to Cantu, fouled straight back into the screen in front of our faces in the press box, high above Simmons Field. Still 2-2 on the freshman from USF. The ground out to second base in the first. Wiggins working quickly, and another 2-2 offering, misses down and away, and the count has run full. Tommy Benson waits on deck. He walked his first time up. Wind blowing straight out to center field, it looks like, based on the many flags here at Simmons Field. Payoff pitch, fastball outside, taken for ball 4, and the Rivets have runners on the corners with 2 down in the top of the second inning. Rockford already leads 6-2, and here's Tommy Benson. Benson walked and scored back in the first inning, coming around on a 2-run home run from Brian Fuentes. As we've talked about so many times this season, the Rivets pitchers have struggled in the first 2 innings of games to keep opponents off the scoreboard, as Michael O adds to the tally of now 87 runs allowed in the first 2 frames. First pitch to the lefty, Benson, is on the way from Wiggins. Fastball swung on and poked foul, out of play, 0-1. But as of late, the Rivets offense has done a really good job jumping over opposing pitching on their side of things. So that certainly takes a lot of pressure off the starters. The Rivets have scored 12 runs in the first 2 innings of their last 3 games now, as they scored 6 runs in the top of the first on Sunday against Fond du Lac. The 0-1, pitch misses low, throw down to first base, not in time to get Cantu diving back into the bag. Good throw from Stevenson. The throw itself was on time, but the tag from O'Loughlin down there was not. And the count is even on Benson, who makes the sign of the cross on his bat. Taps the plate twice, settles into an open batting stance with the hands held low. And the 1-1 from Wiggins. Fastball taken on the outer half of the zone. Benson didn't like the call, but it's 1-2. Phil Matulia waits on third base. Daniel Cantu off of first. 2 runs in on a 2 RBI triple by Matulia. Rivets ahead by 4 runs early. Top of the second inning. Wiggins has the sign and comes home with a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Long run for Carmine Lane. The shortstop Xavier Watson runs by him as Lane makes the grab to end the inning. But the Rivets score twice more on an RBI triple by Phil Matulia, bringing home Brody Harding and Grant McGill. And our new score is 6-2 Rivets after 1.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the second frame at Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Rivets lead the Kingfish by a score of 6-2. Lots of early runs in this ball game to start the second half of the season. Michael O pitching with a little more run support now after he started the first inning. Ahead by 4 runs. He gave up 2 in the bottom half of the first, and now the Rivets lead is back to 4 runs. Rivets offense doing a lot of heavy lifting early on. And Michael O will face Chase Estep, Xavier Watson, and McKay Barney. 8-9-1 in the Kingfish order. Estep climbing in the left-handed batter's box. Former Rivet facing his former team for the first time this summer. First pitch to the Kentucky Wildcat. In there for a called strike 1. Estep was a part of the Rivets team for the first month or so of the season last summer. It was really a stacked Rivets team. So much talent from Power 5 conferences. Here's the kick in the 0-1. Misses downstairs, 1-1. Estep played on the Rivets with Kentucky Wildcat teammates Chase Estep, Zach Kameen, Kirk Liebert, Drew Grace as well. O comes home with a 1-1, swung on and popped foul behind the plate. Grant McGill runs to give it a look and watches it bounce above the Kingfish third base dugout, and it's 1-2. But then Estep, along with the entire team, left when the Rivets had a COVID pause on the last day of July. So the Rivets had to rebuild their entire roster and their coaching staff for the final 2 weeks of the season, and that's when now Rivets manager JT Scara took over and finished the rest of the season with D3 and JUCO players. The 1-2, a fastball runs inside. Estep raises the hands as he watches it come in, and it's 2-2. But for the first, I want to say 2/3 of the season, the Rivets roster was made up of a lot of guys with major league potential. O from the stretch with nobody on. And time is called. O throws the pitch anyways as Estep steps out of the box, adjusts his batting gloves. Has a Stars and Stripes bat wrap on his bat. Interesting design there. I think that's the first time I've seen anything like that this summer. O has the sign from McGill, and now the 2-2. Swung on and poked foul up the third base side again. Estep had to reach out and tap that. And it's still 2-2. But some other notable names on that 2020 Rivets team. Jordan Wicks, a name that a lot of college baseball fans and maybe MLB draft followers know. He's projected to go 15th overall in the first round to the Brewers. Kicking the 2-2, swung on and crushed deep right field. Matulia back on it, and he watches it sail over the wall. It's a solo home run from Chase Estep against his former team in the bottom of the second inning. What a way to start your summer if you're Chase Estep. Going yard in his debut. That ball was absolutely crushed to one of the deepest parts of the park in right center field. And the Rivets lead is now cut to 6-3. So here's the 9 batters. Xavier Watson with nobody on. And the bottom of the second inning. Definitely not a pitcher's day today in Kenosha. Wind blowing out. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch to Watson is on the way. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Watson, the redshirt freshman from Illinois, with the lowest batting average on this Kingfish team among qualified batters at 141. The 1-0, breaking ball in there for a called strike, 1-1. Watson does have a home run, but has struggled recently. Here's the 1-1, misses down and away. Looking at Watson's recent stretch, he's hitless in his last 5 games, 0 for his last 17. Trying to break that stretch here against Michael O and the Rivets. 2-1. Swung on and flied into deep left field. The center fielder Hawkins ranges over towards left and makes the grab. few steps in front of the warning track, and that's out number 1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1 run in on the frame on a solo shot by Chase Estep. And the bases are empty for McKay Barney, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Rivets lead at 6-3. Great Lakes East rivals doing battle here. Rivets lead the season series 3-1. Barney taps the plate twice and settles in the left-handed batter's box, rocking navy blue stirrups with his cream-colored Kenosha uniform. First pitch, he watches it down and away. It's 1-0. But looking back again on more of those 2020 Rivets players, another name that comes to mind is Bobby Seymour from Wake Forest, a huge bat for the Demon Deacons. Here's the 1-0. Barney squares to bunt and pulls back and watches a strike. 1-1. But Seymour struggled mightily in the Northwoods League last summer. Just seemed like he couldn't hit all that well, especially against breaking balls. But then he went back to Wake Forest, had a monster season, so he'll probably go in the first 5 rounds. 0 set to the belt. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, working quickly. Does not waste much time in between pitches, walking around the mound or anything of that sort. He steps right back on the rubber. Sets and delivers the pitch. Fastball misses below the knees to Barney, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Crowd with a good buzz here in Kenosha. 3-1. Fastball misses inside, and Barney draws a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 2nd. Rivets 6, Kingfish 3. And with 1 out, here's Carmine Lane. The redshirt freshman from USF is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Started a hit parade off of Michael O to open the ball game in the bottom of the 1st. 3 straight singles off of O before he walked in a run and allowed 2 runs in the frame. He's already allowed another one here in the bottom of the 2nd. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Swung on and popped up over our heads. Out of play. Grant McGill took his mask off to watch that one. Thought that maybe it would have a chance to stay in, but it did not. And O is out ahead. O making his first start of the season. Struggling as a starter. Looked really good out of the bullpen entering today with a 1.13 ERA. Lane with bright red batting gloves. Looks out at O. Here comes the pitch. Fastball fouled back again over the screen. And it's 0-2. Michael O has 1 strikeout. And it came against Vince Bianchina back in the 1st. O watches Lane step out of the box, adjust his batting glove, and take a breath. Climbs back in the box now. Barney, quick runner on first base. He's got a 4 or 5 step lead. And now O delivers as the runner goes, swinging a line drive into left field. Cantu comes in on it, makes the grab. Barney retreats back to first base. The throw is in time to get him. It's a 7-3 double play as Daniel Cantu doubles off McKay Barney to end the frame. The only damage off of Michael O, a solo home run from Chase Estep here in the bottom of the 2nd. And that makes the lead 6-3 for the Rivets after 2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of inning number 3 at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's the Rivets 6 and the Kingfish 3. Each team scoring in each half inning so far in this game. Rivets starting with a bang with 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Thanks in part to this gentleman, Brian Fuentes, stepping into the right-handed batter's box to start the top of the third inning. Fuentes had a 2-run home run, his second homer in as many games, as he homered for the first time this season last night at Fond du Lac. Facing Dalton Wiggins back out there for another inning. Righty on righty. Wiggins with a long pause, standing on the rubber, and now he turns and delivers the first pitch. Fuentes watches it down low. It's 1-0. Fuentes now with 8 RBIs this summer, starting to heat up his bat. Here's the kick in the 1-0. Swinging a foul straight back to the screen, and it's back even at 1 apiece. Rivets being managed today by pitching coach Doug Coe as JT Scarra serves the second game of his 2-game suspension. Wiggins with the 1-1, swinging a ground ball down to third base, bobbled by Estep, but he recovers and throws in time to first base to get Fuentes by about a step. And that's out number 1 in the top of the third. Here's Tyler Hawkins, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Bases empty for him. Rivets lead 6-3. Hawkins up to 34 strikeouts on the season. And the first pitch. Fastball runs inside, and the catcher Stevenson doesn't make the catch. Doesn't matter with nobody on. And it's 1-0. Hawkins taps the plate twice, gazes out at Wiggins. Here's the 1-0 to him, swinging a line drive into left field. Lane moving over towards center, and he makes the grab mid-stride. And that's out number 2 in the top of the third. Hawkins made good contact there, but it hung up a little bit too long, as the lights have been flipped on at Simmons Field at 7:08 in the Central Time Zone. And the bases are empty for Brody Harding with the Rivets ahead 6-3. Harding doubled his last time. Came around to score on a 2 RBI triple by Phil Matulia in the first pitch to him. Fastball called strike on the outer half. Harding not a huge fan of the call, kind of tilting his head at it and then discussing with the home plate umpire Matthew Metcalf. Wiggins winds and throws. Fastball bounces on the dirt. Easy call that time. It's ball 1. Harding jumps out of the batter's box to pick up the baseball as it caromed off the brick backstop all the way past the batter's box, and it's 1-1. Harding still chatting it up with Metcalf behind the plate. Rests the bat on his shoulder. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and Harding is behind 1-2. So Brody this season has a home run and a double, in addition to a few other base knocks here at Simmons Field. Wiggins rocks and delivers the 1-2, misses low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. First game of the second half for both these teams. Rivets were well out of playoff contention in the first half. 2-2, swung on and slapped foul over the parking lot and into the street on the third base side of Simmons Field. Can you imagine driving in your car just down the street, and here comes a foul ball in front of your windshield, or even worse, maybe through your window? Wiggins with a new baseball and comes home with a 2-2. Misses outside, and the count is run full. At Rivets Stadium, foul balls going into the parking lot or into traffic is not much of a problem. Nothing but seas of parking lots surrounding the Rivets home park. Payoff pitch to Harding. Swung on and tapped slowly to second base. Crenshaw charges, throws sidearm, and O'Laughlin kind of stumbles making the catch on first base, but it looks the same in the scorebook, 4-3, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the third inning for Dalton Wiggins. He recovers after allowing 6 runs in the first 2 frames And after 2.5, it's Rivet 6, Kingfish 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rivets lead the Kenosha Kingfish 6-3 as the Rivets toss up, or record a 0, I should say, in the top of the third inning. First half inning without a run in this ball game, as the Kingfish will send up 3, 4, 5 in their order. Casey O'Loughlin, Luke Stevenson, and Vince Bianchina, freshman from Northwestern, against Michael O, who has struggled to settle in his first start, allowing 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second. He'll try to get the train back on the tracks here against the lefty O'Loughlin. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, and the first pitch. Swinging a tapper to second base. Elliott charges, gloves, throws in time to Fuentes, and that's out number 1 in the top of the third inning. Bottom of the third, I should say. And with the bases empty, here's Luke Stevenson, who had an RBI walk his first time up in the first inning. Rivets lead at 6-3. Stevenson now with 13 RBIs this summer. The big right-handed batter, junior from Xavier, teammate of Rockford Rivet Jared Cushing. And the first pitch to him for Michael O. Breaking ball called strike 1 on the inner half. Stevenson took exception to the call, asking Matthew Metcalf about it. Of course, catchers know the zone better than anybody as they squat behind it for half of the game. O sets at the belt and comes home with the 0-1. Breaking ball misses up and away. Did not curve much there, and it's 1-1. Stevenson taps his cleats and places his back foot on the back chalk line in the right-handed batter's box. Waves the bat back and forth and now moves his elbows a little bit as he holds the bat. Waiting for the 1-1. It's on the way. Misses high. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. O has not gotten out ahead of many batters at all this game. Now up to 49 pitches. Not very efficient, but if he can hand the bullpen the lead, it'll be a good outing. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses down and away. Good spot for Mo. Did not miss by much, but it's ball 3. And O is 1 pitch away from his 3rd walk of the ball game. He sets below the letters and throws the 3-1. Swung on and popped up on the right side of the infield, and that one will find the seats as it tails foul. Rivets first baseman Brian Fuentes giving that one a look. And the count is full. O has just 1 strikeout through 2 1/3 so far, and it was of Vince Bianchina, who's due up 3rd in the frame. He's on deck. Oh, looking for the sign from Grant McGill. Nods and now steps off the rubber. Resets a little bit, licks his fingers. Holds his right arm at his side. Now brings the hands together. And here's the payoff pitch to Luke Stevenson. Swinging a drive into center field. Hawkins on the run, tracks it down, gets under it, and makes the grab for out number 2. It looked like Tyler started to slip a little bit as he ran into a dead sprint and then turned around and stopped to settle under the ball. And he kind of looked at the ground after he made the catch. But it's out number 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 up, 2 down for Michael O. Not working efficiently, but nobody on here with 2 down. Rivets lead 6-3. And Vince Bianchina climbs in. Switch batter from the left side here against the righty O. And he calls time. Umpiring crew tonight, Matthew Metcalf behind the plate. Connor McKenzie at 3rd and Rex Eggstrand at first base. First pitch, misses down and away. And it's 1 ball and no strikes on Bianchina. He spins the bat around in his hands, gazes out at O. And the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. He couldn't catch up to the fastball. It's 1-1. O has not drawn many swings and misses, but he's got really good strikeout stuff at times, especially when he's got the cutter going. O has a deep repertoire of fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, and a cutter. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a foul off to the third base side into the parking lot. Bouncing over some cars, and it's 1-2. Dalton Wiggins had the first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game on the pitching side. In the top of the 3rd, Michael O looking to follow the act with his own 1-2-3 frame. He's got the sign from McGill. Comes set. And now the 1-2 pitch. Misses down and in. Near the cleats of Bianchina. And it's 2-2. Clouds rolling overhead a little bit. It was bright and sunny around first pitch at 6:09 p.m. Now it's 7:18. And it's a little more hazy sunshine. Still shadows across the field, but they're hard to see. The kick in the 2-2, swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Long run for Cantu near the line. He gets under it and makes the play to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 third frame for Michael O. And after 3, it's the Rockford Rivets 6 and the Kenosha Kingfish 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 6, Kenosha Kingfish 3, going to the 4th inning at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This ball game highlighted by early runs as both teams scored in each of their first 2 frames, as the Rivets tossed up a 4 spot in the first and a 2 spot in the second. Kenosha with 2 in the first and 1 in the second, followed by a scoreless third from both starting pitchers, doing a good job settling in. So Dalton Wiggins is back out there for inning number 4, and he'll face 9-1-2 in the Rivets order. Grant McGill, Shamar Page, and Phil Matulia due up. Opening game of the second half for the Rivets and Kingfish. Wiggins from the windup, first pitch to the righty. McGill misses down and outside, and it's 1-0. First game of the second half matters a lot because records reset in the Northwoods League in the second half. 1-0, fastball misses outside. It's 2-0. So the Rivets went 15-20 in the first half of the season. Good for a tie for 4th place in the Great Lakes East. In the second half, they'll have a chance to fight for a playoff spot. 2-0, swing and a foul tip. And it's 2-1. McGill reached on an error and came around to score in the second inning. Wiggins pausing and now turns and delivers the 2-1. Swung on a jam shot into shallow center field. McKay Barney gets under it and makes the catch head high. And that's the first out of the 4th inning. Rivets lead at 6-3, top of the 4th, and here's the leadoff man, Shamar Page. Page is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored, also a pop out to shortstop. In the Northwoods League, the first half division winners get a playoff ticket, as do the second half division winners. And the first pitch from Wiggins bounces in there. Ball 1 to Page. And since the Rivets finished so far out in the first half, here's the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1. Back even at 1 apiece. Since the Rivets finished so far out of contention in the first half, their bets are going to have to be placed on just winning the second half outright rather than finishing second and possibly making it. 1-1 sails on Wiggins a little bit high and outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Page. But if Traverse City, the first half winner, wins the second half again, the second playoff spot goes to the team with the best overall winning percentage. 2-1 cut on and missed by Page. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And just how rare is it for that to happen? Well, pretty much not rare at all. That actually happened in 2019 when Traverse City did it. Wiggins rocks and comes home with a 2-2. Fastball tails outside, and the count is full on the grad student from Louisiana Tech, Shamar Page. Page has good plate discipline, a great contact skill, a great fit for the leadoff spot for the Rivets today. Here's the kick and the payoff pitch. Fastball misses outside, and Page draws his second walk of the ball game, and the Rivets have a 1-out base runner in the top of the 4th inning. Here's Phil Matulia, who is halfway to the cycle, and we're only in the 4th inning. Matulia doubled to start his day in the first, came around to score, and then had a triple in the second inning, and picked up 2 RBIs on the play. 3 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs to start the Rivets order. Page, Matulia, and Wade Elliott. First pitch to Matulia. Pitch misses low. It's 1-0. Matulia likes to jump all over pitches early in counts. And he tripled on the second pitch he got from Wiggins in his second at-bat. Hardest hit ball we've seen today, I would say, and we've seen 2 home runs. Here's the set and the pitch from Wiggins. Fastball tails too far outside. It's 2-0. Wiggins thought that was in the zone. Matulia not so much. And Matthew Metcalf, the home plate umpire, agreed with Matulia, so it's 2-0. Page with a short lead off of first base. Wiggins not paying him much attention, gives him a look, now comes set at the belt, and comes home with a 2-0. Line drive up the middle, past the first base umpire Rex Eggstrand into center field. And Phil Matulia is a home run away from the cycle in the 4th inning. He picks up a single here. Page moves up to second base. And here's Wade Elliott with one down in the top of the 4th. The Rivets lead at 6-3. Good chance for more here. And here comes Kenosha pitching coach Quentin McGrath to talk things over with Dalton Wiggins and company as action will start to get going for the Kingfish. Wade Elliott is going to walk down to the third base coach's box and talk things over with Rivets acting manager Doug Coe. Doug Coe, usually the pitching coach for Rockford, but serving as skipper as JT Scara sits this one out. Second straight game the Rivets are without Scara as he serves a 3-game suspension for handing the Dock Spiders of Fond du Lac a blank lineup card on the 4th of July. It wasn't blank, but it didn't have the Rivets lineup on it. And we can't exactly say what the lineup card said on air, as the Rivets and Dock Spiders feuded. And now the mound meeting is over. Wade Elliott climbs in the right-handed batter's box, looking out at Wiggins, swinging the bat around. Elliott is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single in the first. First pitch, swinging a tapper back to the mound. Wiggins jumps off the mound, looks at second, and now throws to first. That one is as good as a swinging bunt as Page moves to third, Matulia to second, and there's 2 down for the cleanup batter, Daniel Cantu. Elliott can't be too happy with himself. Did not hit that one that hard, but he did the job, advancing the runners, and now a single could bring in runs 7 and 8 for Rockford in the top of the 4th. They lead at 6-3. Daniel Cantu climbs in the box 0 for 1. Walked his last time. He's got 8 RBIs this summer. Wiggins back to the windup. And now the first pitch to the redshirt freshman from South Florida, but time is called beforehand. It's a long delay. Cantu wanted time there. Taps the plate twice. Swings the bat around before bringing it to rest above his left shoulder. Moves the hands back and forth as he waits for the pitch. Shamar Page dancing off third base. Another long pause from Wiggins. Looks at Page and now comes home with the first pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 0-1. So maybe a little bit of mind games being played by Wiggins, really trying to slow down the pace, be deliberate with every single pitch to throw off the Rockford batter. He's got the sign, still stands on the mound, and now comes home with the 0-1. Fastball called strike, a delayed strike call from Matthew Metcalf. Fastball caught the outside part of the zone. And after about a second and a half, Metcalf extended the right arm to signal a strike. Wiggins looks at Page, turns and delivers the 0-2. Swung on and blooped into shallow left field. On comes Lane, and he makes a diving catch, and that ends the inning. Looked like that one might fall and give the Rivets at least one more run, but Shamar Page is stranded on third and Matulia is stranded on second base. And the score remains Rockford Rivets 6, Kenosha Kingfish 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rivets 6, Kingfish 3 going to the bottom of the fourth in Wisconsin. First game of the second half for both these teams. Lots of early scoring in this one. Rivets with 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Kenosha also doing all their scoring in the first 2 frames. Michael Lowe looking to toss up back-to-back zeros for the first time as he'll face Dustin Crenshaw to start the inning. And the first pitch to the lefty, a breaking ball, half swing and a miss for strike 1. Oh, with a first pitch strike. He's not delivered a ton of those today. He's at 58 pitches now. Sats at the belt and the 0-1. Fastball misses low that time. Crenshaw laying off, and it's 1-1. Crenshaw, the freshman from Grand Canyon University, is 0 for 1 with a pop out to Rivets third baseman Tommy Benson. 0 from the stretch with nobody on base. The 1-1. Liner into right field. That one falls in front of Phil Matulia to start the inning with a single. Crenshaw, a 175 batter, climbs aboard. And here's Cam Collier, freshman from USF. He's also 0 for 1 with a pop out to right field in the first. Rivets lead at 6-3, bottom of the fourth inning. Fifth meeting of the season between these squads. Rivets and Kingfish opened the season here at Simmons Field. Now they're opening the second half as well. First pitch, swung on and laced into shallow left. That one gets down. Crenshaw stops at second base. Collier to first. And it's back-to-back singles to start the bottom of the fourth for the Kingfish. And here is Chase Estep, who went yard his first time up. And his first at-bat of the summer. Just joining the Kingfish today on a second-half contract. Estep played for the Rivets last summer, and that's a baseball thing or a general thing in sports that just seems to happen so much. Former players killing their former teams. Estep continues that trend. Taking a look at Estep's numbers from this spring at Kentucky. He played in 40 games. It's a staple in the Wildcats order. Batting .252. Here's the first pitch to him from Michael Lowe. Fastball dots the outside corner for strike 1. Another swing over the fence could tie this ball game up. Rivets lead 6-3, but Dustin Crenshaw on second, Cam Collier on first. Oh, just needs to stay on the outer half of the plate and low in the zone to Estep. He sets and throws the 0-1. Swing on a line drive right to the second baseman, Elliott, and it bounces off of his glove. Crenshaw is going to get the wave around third base. The throw from Phil Matulia, not cut off by Fuentes, gets to the plate and gets through McGill. Crenshaw slides in safely. Both remaining runners move up 90 feet. Collier to third base. Estep into second. And the Kingfish are within 2. It's 6-4. That'll be an error on Wade Elliott as that one glanced right off of his glove. A scorched ball, but was hit right at Elliott. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position for Xavier Watson. Action starting to get stretching in the Rivets bullpen. Righty on righty matchup for Owen Watson here in the first pitch is a breaking ball that splits the plate. It's 0-1. A frustrating first start for Michael Lowe after 2 really solid appearances out of the bullpen. Entering today with a 1.13 ERA. He kicks and delivers, and a fastball misses outside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. So the first pitch missed low for the first ball, and then missing outside with the second pitch. Collier with his lead off third base. Estep off of second. Hitters count for Watson. And a breaking ball misses outside. It's 3-0. First base is open. But the top of the order, and McKay Barney waits on deck. He's reached twice. You do not want to face the top of the order with the bases loaded. 0 comes set. And now throws the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. And that one will get into foul ground, bouncing into the open air concourse. So a little confusion up here in the press box. The first pitch from O was indeed strike one before he delivered 2 straight balls. And that foul ball off the bat of Watson makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. O gets the sign from Grant McGill. A big pitch coming up here. He's still looking for the first out of the inning. 2-2 on the way. And Watson lays off the bender. He started to go around, but didn't get the bat much further from his shoulder. And now the count is full. Here we go. Payoff pitch to Xavier Watson. Swing and a foul tip. There's a foul ball, more accurately, off the end of the bat from Watson. Getting back to the screen, and the count remains full. Watson with bright red cleats. Red is an accent color of the Kingfish team. Navy blue and red, the official colors, with a little bit of gold mixed in there. Cream-colored home uniforms for him. Here's the pause and another payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Michael Lowe got him. Looked like a curveball on the outer half of the plate. Second strikeout of the evening for Michael Lowe, and there's one down in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 run in the frame. Rivets lead at 6-4, and here's the top of the order in McKay Barney. Barney singled and scored in the first and walked and was doubled off to end the 2nd inning on a fly ball to left field. Cam Collier on 3rd base. Chase Estep on 2nd after an error on the Rivets' 2nd baseman, Wade Elliott. First pitch to the left-handed batter. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Looking around Simmons Field tonight. Crowd not as big as the Rivets have seen in their previous 2 trips up north, but still pretty well attended. O gets the sign and throws the 1-0. Fastball misses down near the chute tops. O kicks some dirt around the mound in frustration as it's 2-0. It is the office night at historic Simmons Field. So some good promotions. It's also a bobblehead night, so that brought some fans out on a Tuesday evening. 2-0 pitch from O. Swinging a line drive. Wade Elliott catches it and turns to look the runners back. And that's out number 2. You never know when you're going to get a chance to redeem yourself, and Elliott does. Catching a sinking liner that time after dropping a line drive off the bat of Chase Estep earlier in the inning. And now here's Carmine Lane with 2 down and runners on 2nd and 3rd. Rivets ahead 6-4 over Kenosha. Michael O looking to just survive and get to the next inning. He's at 73 pitches. First pitch to Lane, swing and a miss on an off-speed offering. Breaking ball tailing away from the righty, and it's 0-1. Lane is 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first and flied out to left field to help end the 2nd inning. On that play, Barney was doubled off. O comes set at the belt. Rocks and delivers the 0-1. Breaking ball check swing from Lane, appeal down to first base, and Rex Eggstrand says he did indeed go around. Those appeals are always tough, as it looked like Lane started to hold up. Fans not happy about the call, but no less, it's 0-2. Oh, nods at his catcher, Grant McGill. He sets. And now here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Good chase pitch from Michael Lowe, but Lane did not give chase. Action in the Rivets bullpen. It's a left-hander, Brendan Lowry, in his first day with the team today. And the righty O comes set and fires the 1-2. Breaking ball misses outside again. It's back even at 2 apiece. The runners on second and third. Rivets leading by 2 with 2 outs in the 4th inning. O gets another sign. Long at bat against Lane here. And offers the 2-2. Fastball misses low, and the count is run full. The fans grow a little more engaged into the at-bat now as wind whips into Simmons Field. Harder than it was a few moments ago. Flags along the third base side of the diamond are stiff on their poles. Here's another payoff pitch, swung on and crushed down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's gone. It stays fair into the boat down the left field line at Simmons Field, and it's a 3-run home run off the bat of Carmine Lane to give the Kingfish a 7-6 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Michael Lowe watches the celebration as he waits for a new baseball. And after the Kingfish get into an early hole, they snatch the lead here in the 4th frame. 3rd home run of the game. Brendan Lowry continues to warm in the bullpen. Rivets acting manager Doug Coe watches the action, wondering if he's ready. But now here's the next batter, Casey O'Laughlin. Righty on lefty. And the first pitch. Swinging a foul back. 0-1. So Collier and Estep scoring on that long ball. Rivets pitchers have allowed a lot of those over the last week or so. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball just misses the inside corner of the plate. And it's 1 apiece. O'Laughlin with an open batting stance from the left side. Still working from the stretch with no runners on, and the 1-1 misses low, and it's 2-1. So O's command not getting any better. And I imagine that this may be Michael O's last batter. We'll see if we can get him to end the inning. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses outside. Nearly turns his entire back to the plate as he is laboring out there now at 83 pitches. His day will certainly be over here shortly. He comes set and throws to O'Laughlin. Fastball misses low and away, and that's ball 4. So after O allows a 3-run home run to Carmine Lane to clear the bases, he puts another runner on. And now Doug Coe is going to make the trot out to the mound. And we'll see if he calls the bullpen, and he does indeed make the point. Down the first base line, and here comes Brendan Lowry. Lowry making his first appearance of the Northwoods League season on his second-half contract, and we'll be back with the details on him after a short break. Rivets now trail 7-6 in the bottom of the 4th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Back at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rivets now trailing Great Lakes East rival Kenosha 7-6 after Michael O allows a 3-run home run to Carmine Lane in the 4th inning. And that ends his day after he allowed the home run and then gave up a walk to Casey O'Laughlin. And into the ball game now is left-handed sidearmer Brendan Lowry. Lowry, the native of Indian Head Park, Illinois, out of Waubonsie Community College. Facing the right-handed Luke Stevenson with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's his first pitch of the summer. Misses low in the dirt, knocked down by McGill, but it gets away from him, and O'Laughlin with a good read moves up to second base. So 1 pitch and already a little bit more trouble for Lowry. Taking a look at Lowry's numbers at Waubonsie. He had a 4.43 ERA this spring. Struck out 54, walked 24. He sets in a closed stance and comes home with the 1-0. Swung on and popped foul. It's back even at 1 piece. That one lands past some fans on the concourse beyond the first base grandstand. Lowry's record 4-1 with 2 complete games and 41 2/3 innings. So he was a starter for the Chiefs. He'll come out of the bullpen for the Rivets this summer. The pause and the 1-1 from him. Off speed, hacked foul. Again into the open air concourse. That one lands very near an inflatable of the Kingfish mascot, Elvis the Fish. It is a giant bounce house shaped like the fish. It's quite the sight. 1-2 now, and the delivery swung on and lined right to the Rivets' third baseman, Tommy Benson. He makes the grab, and the inning is over. But 9 Kingfish come to the plate, and 4 runs come in to score, including 3 on a 3-run home run from Carmine Lane, and the Kingfish now lead at 7-6 over Rockford after 4 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the 5th inning in Kenosha with Rockford Rivets trailing the Kenosha Kingfish 7-6. And the difference right now, a 3-run home run by Carmine Lane in the bottom of the 4th inning, helping chase Michael O from the ball game. He went 3 2/3, allowing 7 runs, but just 3 of which were earned. Rivets will look to come back against Dalton Wiggins, starting with Tommy Benson, and the first pitch to the Rivets 5 batter misses outside. It's 1-0. Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton College, has now reached in all 7 of his games as a Rivet. 1-0, misses outside. 2-0. Benson walked and scored in the first inning, flied out to left field in the second. Benson, a switch hitter, hits better from the right side if you ask him. But I'd say he's pretty good from both sides. The kick in the 2-0 from Wiggins. Fastball misses outside, a little closer that time, but it's 3-0. I would say if Wiggins gets into trouble in this frame, that Mike Percaro, the Kenosha manager, will be quick with the string. Here's the 3-0 pitch, misses high and outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Tommy Benson to start this 5th inning. Rivets trail 7-6, and here's Brian Fuentes, who had a 2-run home run in the first inning. Overall 1 for 2 as he followed the home run with a ground out to third base in the 3rd. Rivets acting manager and third base coach Doug Coe claps his hands together. Benson with an aggressive lead off of first base, gets another step. Wiggins has not looked at him yet. Gazes in for the sign from Luke Stevenson. Wiggins gives him a look. Benson a step closer, dives back, and he's in safely. On the pickoff throw from Wiggins. Good move. It was pretty close, but not close enough. Benson right back to a big lead. Hands on his knees. Now hands below his knees. And Wiggins throws over again, this time a little less close. No tag from Casey O'Laughlin as Brian Fuentes continues to wait on his first pitch. As action continues in the Kenosha bullpen, first pitch to Fuentes, misses inside. That's ball 1. Taking a look at the arm warming up for Kenosha. It's Dominic Hahn. Here's the 1-0 to Fuentes. It hits him right on the numbers on the back. He grimaces in a little bit of pain, flips his bat to the first base dugout, and he will head on to first base in a painful way. Chatting it up with Josue Urdaneta, his Indiana State teammate, and Rivets' first base coach tonight as Josue gets the night off. So back-to-back free passes issued to the Rivets to start the 5th inning. Benson now on second, Fuentes on first for Tyler Hawkins. Rivets trail 7-6. And now it looks like Connor McKenzie, the third base umpire, takes the baseball from Dalton Wiggins and throws it back to the home plate umpire, maybe thinking that Wiggins had some foreign substances on the baseball. I've never seen that in the Northwoods League before. Northwoods League umpires don't do glove checks or anything of that nature that we see in the major leagues or the minor leagues. Wiggins climbs on the rubber and gazes in at Tyler Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, who's 0 for 2. A single from him could tie the ball game. He squares to bunt, gets it up the third base line, and it bounces foul. 0-1. Hawkins with good speed. Every time he bunts, he's really bunting for a hit and tends to be a pretty good bunter. Fans heckling Hawkins after he couldn't keep the bunt fair, and now a ball escapes from the Kingfish bullpen. And time is out. Wind still blowing at a very good clip. I'd estimate 10, 15 miles per hour out to center field. Wiggins looks in for the sign from Stevenson. Sporting an open stance, holds his leather against his chest. Long pause. Now he comes set. gives a look at Benson off of second. Hawkins squares to bunt, and the pitch is dropped down in front of the plate. The catcher Stevenson grabs it, throws to first, not in time. Almost gets away from O'Loughlin, now it does. Benson breaks from third, the throw to the plate, not in time. We're tied at 7. That'll go as an error on O'Loughlin, or perhaps the catcher Stevenson. It'll be on the catcher Stevenson on the throw, as the throw was high, bringing O'Loughlin off the bag, but Hawkins beat the throw, and the throw got away from O'Loughlin as it bounced off his glove, not too far, and Benson, with an aggressive base-running move, dashes home from third base. And we've got a brand-new ball game in the top of the 5th. Brian Fuentes moves to second base. Hawkins now off of first on the E2. Or that'll be a hit for him, and the run scores on an error. And here's Brody Harding, left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, and the first pitch. He squares to bunt, gets it up the third base line. E-step, charges, gloves, throws across his body in time. A great play by the Kenosha third baseman for just the first out of the top of the 5th inning. But Harding gets the job done, moves Fuentes to third, Hawkins up to second, and a single could give the Rivets a 2-run lead, and a fly ball to the outfield, likely enough to give them an 8-7 lead. Rivets and Kingfish tied up at 7 apiece in the top of the 5th. Grant McGill climbs in the box. And the first pitch to the redshirt freshman from Indiana State is on the way. Breaking ball misses high and inside, right above the letters, and it's 1-0. Dalton Wiggins' day is likely to be over shortly. Dominic Hand just about ready in the left field bullpen. Wiggins from the windup looks at Fuentes off third. The 1-0 swung on and hit foul into the screen. That one bounces into the seats off the net, and it's 1-1. That organ you hear is not a real organ, but a pre-recorded one. Just sounds natural at the ballpark, though. 1-1 count on Grant McGill. The pitch, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Wiggins burned him, but it's 1-2. McGill with another chance here. McGill takes a half swing, steps in the right-handed batter's box, taps the plate twice. Big situation in the middle of this ball game. Rivets with already 1 run in. Can McGill make it more? The 1-2, swing and a miss. And Dalton Wiggins got him. McGill tipped a part of that pitch, but right into the glove of Luke Stevenson. And now there's 2 down with runners on second and third. Rivets with a run in the top of the 5th. And an error by the catcher, Luke Stevenson, allowing Tommy Benson to score from third base. But now the threat is not over as the top of the order in Shamar Page climbs in. First pitch, swinging a foul straight back. It's 0-1. That strikeout of Grant McGill is just Dalton Wiggins' second K of his outing, which will likely come to a close here soon. Had a chance to stay in the ball game, go 5 complete innings, and line himself up for the victory, but he gave away the Kingfish 1-run lead, so he will not have that opportunity, but he could still get the loss if he doesn't get out of this. The kick in the 0-1, swung on and crushed down the right field line, hooking foul. That one almost had home run distance, but Page got a little too far out in front and underneath it, and it's 0-2. Page seeing the baseball well today. He's got 2 walks and a pop out, so officially 0-1. He taps the inside part of the plate, settles into an open batting stance. The wind and the 0-2 from Dalton Wiggins. Swung on and grounded to shortstop, fielded by Watson, bobbles his throw and throws to first in time to get Page by a half a step. The bobble almost cost Watson. He double pumped, and Page runs all the way down into right field after that throw in frustration. But the Rivets tie the game as Tommy Benson dashes home from third base on a bunt by Tyler Hawkins. And the Rivets now tie it at 7-7 after 4.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth inning at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Tie ball game between Great Lakes East rivals. Rockford Rivets 7, Kenosha Kingfish 7. Brendan Lowry out for his second inning of work. It will be his first complete inning after he recorded the final out of the fourth inning for Michael O. He delivers the first pitch to Vince Bianchina, the freshman from Northwestern, and he takes it for a called strike one. Bianchina is 0 for 2 with a swinging strikeout. Lowry working quickly. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. Lowry joining the team today for the second half. Was also a member of the Rivets for the final 2 weeks of last season after the Rivets had to replace their entire team after a COVID pause for the final 2 weeks. He turns and fires the 0-2. Breaking ball misses way outside. Lowry taps his chest as if to say, "That's on me, my bad," to Grant McGill. And it's 1-2. Lowry listed as a two-way player on the Waubonsie Community College website. 0-2 pitch, misses way outside again. Lowry not exactly finishing the sidearm delivery on the last two pitches, and it's even at 2 apiece. Lowry posted a 4.32 ERA and did not play much as a hitter whatsoever. Here's the 2-2, big hack and a miss for a swinging strike three. 2 strikeouts for Vince Bianchina, and that's the first out of the bottom of the fifth inning. Rivets and Kingfish tied at 7 apiece. Bases empty for Dustin Crenshaw. Lowry doesn't throw the hardest, but that angle will get him a few strikeouts. Here's the first pitch to the lefty, Crenshaw. Breaking ball nearly turns into the zone. Crenshaw turned away from it a little bit, stepping out of the box. But it's 1 ball and no strikes. Lowry back with the baseball, nods at McGill, and comes home with a 1-0. Slider drops too far, low and away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The wind is starting to settle down a little bit at Simmons Field as the lights shine down on the field. Here's the wind in the 2-0. Fastball dots the outside corner, taken for a called strike one. First game of the second half for both these squads. Rivets have lost 7 of their last 9 entering tonight. 2-1 from Lowry. Misses low near the shoe tops of Crenshaw, and it's 3-1. The Rivets lost yesterday to the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, but it doesn't count as a loss in the Rivets' loss column in the standings due to a rule violation. And the 3-1 misses outside from Lowry, and it's a 1-out walk to Dustin Crenshaw. So the go-ahead run is on first base here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and here's Cam Collier, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the 4th. Kenosha hit a 3-run home run. It was off the bat of Carmine Lane in the 4th inning to take a 7-6 lead. Rivets got that run back in the top of the 5th to knot this ball game up. First pitch to Collier in there for a called strike. Fastball on the outer half. Crenshaw not far off first base. Kingfish not a huge base stealing team. They've got 2 players in double digits in the stolen bags department. Collier a few steps off the bag. Lowry comes home with the 0-1. Cut on and missed. McGill wanted a snap throw down. Did not toss it, but it's 0-2. Collier, one of 2 USF Bowls on the Kingfish lineup card today. Rivets have 1, and Daniel Cantu, he's out in left field. Standing in front of the Fishbowl Club, just 300 feet from home plate and left. Here's the set in the 0-2 from Lowry, misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That would be 1 ball and 2 strikes, excuse me. Lowry sets and fires home. Slow breaking ball reached out and grounded foul up the first base line. We'll do it again. It was an awkward swing from Collier, who sort of realized it wasn't going to be a strike, so he just made sure his bat touched it, so he stays alive. Lowry's fastball, I'd estimate, sitting in the low to mid 80s, but it's awkward. 1-2, misses outside. It's even at 2 apiece. And Lowry's a guy that's going to throw you off with that change of pace, but mainly the sidearm angle from the left side, which you don't see a ton. It's not completely submarine, but certainly sidearm. Here's the 2-2. Misses high and outside, and the count is run full. Talking about comparisons for Lowry, well, his delivery reminds me a little of Randy Johnson's, but that's silly of me to say considering Lowry's fastball, as we mentioned, is only in the 80s. Not a hard thrower. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball misses just low, and it's back-to-back walks from Lowry in the 5th inning. Crenshaw moves up to second. Cam Collier to first base. And now Chase Estep steps to the plate in a tie ball game. Estep is not a guy you want to face with anybody on. Batting in the 8th spot in his first game of the summer tonight. But he has tattooed 2 balls. 1 for a home run, a solo shot in the 2nd, and then the other an error off the glove of Wade Elliott. A screamer off the bat resulting later in a run. Lefty on lefty matchup in the first pitch. Fastball called strike 1 on the outer half. Grant McGill is going to come out for a mound visit now, as instructed by Rivets acting manager Doug Coe, as JT Scarra, the Rivets skipper, is suspended. McGill and Lowry holding their gloves over their faces. It'll be hard to read their lips from all the way up here. Action getting going in the Rivets bullpen. It's Ryan Green, a sophomore from Concordia, Wisconsin. Was a starting pitcher up there this spring. He also has a chance to make his first appearance of the summer. Lowry ahead 0-1. He comes set at the belt and deals to Estep. Slow breaking ball taken for a called strike 2 on the outer half. You could tell by Estep's body language that he either wanted to swing at that pitch or he thought it was a ball. Hard to tell which. Estep takes a check swing, climbs back in the box, sporting a white leg guard on his front leg with navy blue and white stirrups. Looks out at Lowry, and now the 0-2 pitch, swinging a foul straight back. Estep was right on it, and we'll have another 0-2. dangerous batter for Lowry here. 2020 Rockford Rivets squaring off. But no, they did not play together. There was a lot of turnover on that roster. There's always a lot of turnover on summer ball rosters, but especially last season for the Rivets. Here's the pause and the 0-2. Fastball just misses outside. Good pitch from Lowry on 0-2. McGill holding it at the spot for a little extra longer before firing it back to Lowry. Lowry holds the baseball behind his back. Now comes set and fires the 1-2. Swung on and poked out into shallow left field. Cantu moves back on it and now settles under it and makes the grab. Tosses it back into the infield. Crenshaw doesn't go from second base. And that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners on first and second with the game tied at 7 apiece for Xavier Watson. Watson is 0 for 2 in the 9 spot, is now 0 for his last 19 in his last 5 games. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first pitch to the redshirt freshman from Illinois is on the way. He lays off a fastball outside. 1-0. So many base runners, so many runs early on in this game. If you like offense, this is the game for you. Rivets started early. The kick and the 1-0 popped up in foul ground. Off to the first base side. Brian Fuentes, the first baseman, leans over a railing and watches the ball bounce into the stands. It's 1-1. Rivets opened up a 4-0 lead in the top of the first. Kenosha cut it in half with 2 in their half. Rivets got the 2 back. In the top of the second, thanks to an RBI triple from Phil Matulia. Kenosha scored once more in the bottom of the second. Took the lead with the 4 spot in the 4th. Then the Rivets tying it back up in the 5th. 1-1. Swinging a line drive into shallow left. It falls in front of Cantu. Here comes Crenshaw around third. The throw into the plate, not in time. A little bit tardy as Crenshaw just got past Grant McGill. He tried to swipe a late throw up and get a non-sliding Crenshaw. Almost got him, but not quite in time. And Kenosha pulls back in front, 8-7, and the bottom of the 5th. And now the job for Brendan Lowry is just to limit the damage. Cam Collier moves up to second base. And now Watson on first base, snapping an 0 for 19 stretch with an RBI single. That's got to feel good. Now the top of the order, and McKay Barney steps in, and the first pitch to the lefty. Slow breaking ball taken for a called strike 1, 0-1. Lowry with bright red cleats with a dark gray Rivets uniform, which is a tinge darker because of probably some perspiration. Here's the set at the belt and the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack from Barney. And it's quickly 0-2. Lowry's probably going to have to go outside the zone, try and get Barney to chase here. The sophomore from Washington has reached twice. 1 for 2 with a walk. And a run scored. He takes some check swings from the left side. And the 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. He got him with the breaking ball outside of the zone. And Lowry limits the damage to an RBI single off the bat of Xavier Watson. But that allows Kenosha to regain the lead. It's now 8-7 after 5 full on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Moving to the 6th inning at historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Rockford Rivets trail the Great Lakes East rival Kenosha by a score of 8-7. Rivets giving up the tie game in the bottom of the 5th. Just 3 half innings in this game have been scoreless. Each half in the 3rd and the top of the 4th, as the Rivets will send up Phil Matulia, Wade Elliott, and Daniel Cantu to face a new arm. It's Dominic Hann, the 6'2 freshman from Michigan State, has an ERA of 9 entering this appearance, and he fires the first pitch to Matulia. He lifts it high in the air, deep right field. Going back is Collier, and he watches it go. Look out, right field parking lot. Phil Matulia has hit for the cycle. A double in the 1st, a triple in the 2nd, a single in the 4th, and a solo home run in the 6th inning. What a day for the junior from Louisiana Tech. We're tied back up at 8 in the top of the 6th inning. Phil Matulia hits for the cycle in 4 at-bats. Oh my goodness. Here's the first pitch to Wade Elliott. He takes ball 1. Holy cow. That may be the first cycle in Rivets history. We'll have to get somebody on it. First pitch, or next pitch to Wade Elliott. Check swing ground ball down to first base. Casey O'Laughlin takes it to the bag unassisted for out number 1. That was a no-doubter off the bat of Matulia. Got out of here in a hurry to tie this game at 8. Here in the top of the 6th. Wade Elliott follows with some weak contact, and Dominic Hann bounces back nicely. First bullpen arm in the ball game for Kenosha. Here's Daniel Cantu with the bases empty. First pitch to him. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-0. Second Rivets home run of the night. 4th home run of the night overall here in Kenosha. The kick in the 1-0. Swung on and hammered foul on the ground up the third base line. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I've been following baseball for a long time, and I don't know if I've ever watched a game where somebody hits for the cycle in 4 straight at-bats. The 1-1 swinging a little flare into shallow left center field, and that one drops in between Barney and Lane out there. And Daniel Cantu is aboard with a 1-out single. So Rivets have the go-ahead run on first base in the top of the 6th. Here's Tommy Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton. He's got 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Rivets dugout has to be juiced up. That's got me juiced up in the press box. One of the most exciting moments of the season for Rockford in a slugfest here in Kenosha. Phil Matulia hits for the cycle in 4 straight at-bats. His home run tying the game. Here's the first pitch to Benson. Fastball runs inside. It's 1-0. Cantu is a big fella off of first base, but he's got good stolen base speed. He's got 4 stolen bags this summer, being held on by Casey O'Laughlin here. Benson with an open batting stance, and the 1-0 is grounded sharply to second base, and it hops over Crenshaw into right field. Cantu on his horse. He chugs into third base. Benson stops at first, and the Rivets have runners on the corners with 1 down in the top of the 6th. Already 1 run in. That one took a nasty hop on the infield at Simmons Field. Probably going to be scored a hit. Not entirely sure. But either way, the Rivets have runners on the corners for Brian Fuentes, who homered in the 1st inning. Was hit with a pitch his last time in the 5th. So he's reached 2 of 3 times to the plate. Tyler Hawkins waits on deck. 1 down, runners on the corners, tied at 8. First pitch, swing and a miss from Fuentes. He was thinking home run with that hack. But the pitch was well out of the zone downstairs, and it's 0-1. There have been a handful of high-scoring performances for Rockford against Kenosha this season. And sets at the belt. And the 0-1 pitch. Bounced in the dirt. Good stop by Stevenson to keep Daniel Cantu at third base. And it's 1-1. Rockford scored 10 runs against Kenosha back in the team's last meeting here on June 11th. 10-3 final score. Rivets scored 16 against him on the 5th at Rivets Stadium. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a line drive into center field. Sends Barney back on it. Turning around, he makes the grab. Cantu tags up from third base. He'll scoot home to score. And the Rivets take a 9-8 lead in the top of the 6th inning. Back and forth we go between these Great Lakes East rivals. Punch for punch go these lineups. And the Rivets with another chance here. Tommy Benson stays at first base on the sac fly by Fuentes, his third RBI of the day. As Tyler Hawkins climbs in. 2 down now. Hawkins is 1 for 3, and he swings at the first pitch and comes up empty. On a breaking ball down and outside, it's 0-1. Hawkins takes some check swings, climbs back in the box. Hand gives a look at Benson off of first base. And now delivers the 0-1. Misses low, knocked down by Stevenson. And he looks back Benson. It's 1-1. Hawkins with a wide batting stance, slightly open from the right side. Rests the bat above his shoulder. Gazing out at the righty for Michigan State. Benson takes off with a pitch. Pitch misses up and away. Throw down to second, not in time. Benson got a fantastic jump, and even the best throw from Stevenson probably wouldn't have got him. And the Rivets have another runner in scoring position. So an RBI opportunity for Tyler Hawkins, who has 17 of them this summer, but none tonight. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Hawkins. Benson with good enough speed to score from second on a shallow single. Crenshaw near the bag, holding on Benson. Fans making some noise. And the 2-1, down and away. Hawkins laying off at that time. He swung at 1 outside the zone near that spot earlier. And he's ahead 3 balls and 1 strike. Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville. And comes set below the letters and comes home with the 3-1. Swinging a high chopper down to third base. He step, gloves, throws across the diamond in time to get Tyler Hawkins. But the Rivets score twice. First on a solo home run for Phil Matulia to complete the cycle in 4 at-bats to tie the game at 8. And then a sacrifice fly by Brian Fuentes. Scoring Daniel Cantu gives the Rivets a 9-8 lead, going to the bottom of the 6th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th inning in an absolute thriller in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rivets lead at 9-8, and they'll bring in a new pitcher. It's Ryan Green, the arm from Concordia, Wisconsin, making his first appearance of the summer. He also was a Rivet in 2020. He comes on in relief of Brendan Lowry, who went an inning and a third, allowing 1 run on 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The story in this one, Phil Matulia hitting for the cycle in just 4 at-bats. A double in the first, a triple in the second, a single in the fourth, and a solo home run in the 6th. Rivets leading, Green pitching with the lead, and the first pitch to Carmine Lane misses down and away. Lane, the redshirt freshman from South Florida, is 1 for 3, hit a home run in the 4th, and the pitch from Green runs up and in, a check swing and a foul off the bat of Lane, and it's 1-1. Lane belting his first home run of the summer into the boat down the left field line here in Kenosha. The kick in the 1-1, swinging a sharp ground ball, gets past Wade Elliott into right field. Another tough defensive break for Elliott, who tried to play the short hop, but the ball skipped right underneath his glove. That'll probably go as a single, as Lane reaches base to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Rivets lead it 9-8, and here's Casey O'Laughlin, who's reached twice, once on a single, once on a walk. 1 for 2 overall. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, and the first pitch, swinging a jam shot foul into the seats. It's 0-1. Taking a look at Ryan Green's stats from Concordia University, Wisconsin this spring. He steps off and throws over to check on Lane, who dives back safely. Green went 54 1/3 innings for the Falcons, posting an ERA of 4.97. He slide steps and comes home with the 0-1, and it misses low, 1 apiece. Green, a native of Green Bay, Wisconsin, so pitching in his home state tonight. Pitched against the Green Bay Booyah a fair amount in the final 2 weeks of the Northwoods League season last summer. He sets, and the 1-1, chopper up the middle, could be 2. Elliott gloves, flips to Harding for 1, and on to first in time. A beautiful 4-6-3 twin-killing double play. Makes it 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Boy, that was a sweet turn. Elliott fielding it cleanly. A nice flip to Harding. Poetry in motion right there. And here's Luke Stevenson with the bases empty. Rivets ahead 9-8 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 spot in the top half of this inning, the difference, including a home run from Phil Matulia to complete the cycle. First pitch to Stevenson. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. But Green getting an invite back to the Rivets for the second half of the season shows what JT Sciarra thinks of some of those players he saw last year. The 1-0, breaking ball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1 apiece. But Green now one of a handful of players who played for Rockford on that team that has been invited back. The 1-1, breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Green with Brendan Lowry making his debut today. Ross Thompson, who has turned out to be the Rivets ace, was in the Rivets bullpen last summer. 2-1, fastball cut on and missed. It's 2-2. So what a story that team has turned out to be for the Rivets. JT Sciarra getting the opportunity to manage with just 2 weeks remaining in the season. He himself getting an invite back from general manager Chad Bauer. Here's the kick in the 2-2, Bender in the dirt. Laid off by Stevenson, and it's full. Stevenson, the junior from Xavier, had an RBI walk in the first. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a line out. Green with a wide stance from the windup. Turns and fires, and the ball is swung on and crushed. Deep left center field. Hawkins on the track in front of the wall. Tracks it down with no room to spare, and he flips the baseball over the short wall to a fan after recording the third out. So Ryan Green faces the minimum in the bottom of the sixth, and the Rivets hold a 9-8 lead after 6 innings on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 9, Kenosha Kingfish 8. Going to the top of the 7th inning in a back-and-forth battle in the first game of the second half. What a way to kick off the second half of the season in the Northwoods League. The division winner in the Great Lakes East in the second half will get a playoff spot, just as the first half winner, the Traverse City Pit Spitters, did. So records being reset. Rivets struggling a little bit in the first half, but starting the second half with a bang. First pitch to Brody Harding. The 8-batter is in there for a called strike from the right hand of Dominic Hand. Big Ten on Big Ten matchup here. Hand from Michigan State. Harding from Illinois. The kick in the 0-1 to the left-handed batter. Swinging a chopper down to third. E-step charges, gloves, throws across his body in time to Casey O'Laughlin waiting at first. Harding is retired, and it's 1 up, 1 down in the top of the 7th inning. Not a lot of zeros on the line score. Rivets starting scoring with 4 in the first. Kenosha responded with 2 in the first. Rivets got those 2 runs back in the top of the second. Kenosha scored another time, and then they took the lead with a 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Rockford taking the lead back in the 6th, thanks in part to a home run by Phil Matulia to complete the cycle. First pitch to Grant McGill. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike 1. 0-1. So the Rivets lead at 9-8. 9 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors for Rockford. 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors for the Kingfish. Hand winds and fires the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball bounced. Kicks up some chalk in the left-handed batter's box, which wafts away from McGill in the right-handed batter's box. And it's 1-1. And working from the right side of the rubber, has the sign and comes home. Swinging a fly ball straight away right field. Playable for Cam Collier, who takes 2 steps to his left and puts it away. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 7th inning. Rivets lead it by a score of 9-8, and here's the top of the order in Shamar Page. Page making his debut in the leadoff spot this summer. Told me that He played there a ton in high school and batted .585 in that spot before he graduated from high school, moving to Louisiana Tech from there. Here's the first pitch, big hack and a miss. It's 0-1. Page today has 2 walks and 2 putouts, so he's 0 for 2, but doing a good job from the top spot. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, the 0-1. Page watches a fastball down near the cleats. It's 1-1. Page rocking the gold and black stirrups with his dark gray Rivets uniform, as he does every game. 1-1 from Hand. Fastball again is a little bit dirty on the dust near home plate, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Lights now taking full effect at Simmons Field in Kenosha. A 100-year-old diamond. Swinging a broken bat grounder to second base. Dustin Crenshaw gathers and throws in time to end the 7th inning. Rivets go down in order, 1-2-3. Good inning from Dominic Hand. And the score remains Rockford 9, Kenosha 8 at stretch time at Simmons Field. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning in Kenosha, with the Rivets leading their Great Lakes East rival, the Kingfish, by a score of 9-8. Thanks in part to a cycle from Phil Matulia and 4 at-bats. Rivets right fielder going double, triple, single, home run, helping the Rivets to the lead. Rivets regain the lead with a 2-run 6th inning. And Ryan Green is back out there for a 2nd inning of relief work, trying to hold it against first Vince Bianchina, the freshman from Northwestern. He takes strike 1, a fastball on the outer half of the zone. Bianchina is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Green kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 1-1. Opening day 2.0 between these squads. First day of the 2nd half in the Northwoods League. 1-1. Fastball misses high and away from Green, and he's behind 2-1. Green making his first appearance of the Northwoods League season, doing a good job. Gave up some hard contact last inning, but it was a 1-2-3 inning. Here's his 2-1. Breaking ball doesn't break and misses outside, and it's 3-1 on Bianchina. Bianchina, Dustin Crenshaw, and Cam Collier due up. 5, 6, 7 for the Fish. 3-1. Fastball misses inside as Bianchina turns away from it, and he trots down to first base with a leadoff walk. That puts the tying run on base and the go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Crenshaw. Rivets lead it 9-8, bottom of the 7th inning. Crenshaw singled in the 4th and walked in the 5th, came around to score both times. Green from the stretch. Holds the ball below his belt, fires the first pitch, misses low, throw down to first, not in time. Snap throw from McGill, throwing over the left-handed batter Crenshaw. Not every day you see that. Crenshaw squared to bunt, but pulled back. And so it's a strike. It's 0-1. Green long and lanky. He steps off and throws over to first. No tag from Fuentes as Bianchina is back in safely. But Green standing at 6'2", 195 pounds. A wiry guy out there. Another throw over. This time a little closer, but Fuentes doesn't slap the tag down. He tries the hidden ball trick, not throwing it back to Green right away, seeing if Bianchina would stay on the bag. He did. We'll see if Green comes back home this time. Looks at Bianchina, sets and now throws. And the pitch is down the chute, taken for a called strike 2. Crenshaw without a home run this summer. The freshman from GCU has 9 RBIs. Has struck out 19 times this summer, but none tonight. And the 0-2 misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice Tuesday night crowd at Simmons Field in Kenosha. Kenosha is 3rd in the Northwoods League in average attendance, drawing over 1,600 a game. The 1-2 misses up and away again. It's back even at 2 apiece. No outs, runner on first base, bottom of the 7th inning. Rivets lead it by 1 in a seesaw battle. Green lets the right arm hang, sets at the belt, and fires the 2-2. Swinging a slow grounder to shortstop. Harding gobbles, throws the second for 1, on to first. Not in time. That would have been one heck of a turned double play. That ball was moving away from Harding, the shortstop, who fielded it on a very short hop. And in one smooth motion, threw to Wade Elliott at second base, but Elliott's turn just a bit late. And now it looks like Dustin Crenshaw is going to head back to the dugout. He might be injured. Or maybe Crenshaw doesn't realize he was ruled safe. I'm not sure what happened. Now the first pitch to Cam Collier, chopped down to third base, fielded by Benson. He throws across in time. And so the umpire, Rex Eggstrand, changed the call on that double play. So the Rivets did indeed turn it after Dustin Crenshaw was originally called safe. Then Cam Collier follows with a 1-pitch at bat, a ground out to Tommy Benson to end the frame. So 6 up, 6 down for Ryan Green in his first appearance of the summer. And the Rivets still lead it 9-8 after 7 innings on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 9, Kenosha Kingfish 8, going to the 8th inning at Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. First game of the second half, and boy, has it been a thriller. Rivets coming out on top for the time being in a seesaw battle. The difference right now, a 2-run top of the 6th inning, which included a home run by Phil Matulia to complete his cycle in 4 at-bats. He leads off the top of the 8th inning against a new arm for Kenosha, Harry DeLianis. The redshirt freshman has a 5.40 ERA, and the first pitch to Phil Matulia is a check swing, called strike, and it's 0-1. DeLianis has made 10 appearances, thrown 21 and 2/3 innings, 24 strikeouts to 10 walks. Right-handed pitcher sets at the letters and comes home to Matulia. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. Matulia with a career day. Started his cycle with a double and a run scored in the first. Then a 2 RBI triple in the second. Got him halfway there. A line drive single that almost hit the umpire back in the fourth, and then a solo blast. A no-doubter to deep right field in the sixth. Open stance for him in the 1-1. Big swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Matulia takes some steps back towards the first base dugout, adjusts his batting gloves. You never know what you're going to see at the ballpark on any given day. And the home plate umpire, Matthew Metcalf, steps out from behind home plate and points down to the Rivets bullpen where Rivets closer Tucker Shalley is stretching. And they asked him to move away from the foul line. So apparently Tucker Shalley was too close to the foul line there. So Shalley moves away, and we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. The 1-2 is fouled back, and we'll do it again. Matulia has been crushing the baseball today. You could argue that that solo home run to complete the cycle wasn't his hardest hit ball, as that triple he sent to dead center field was crushed over the head of McKay Barney. Matulia gazes out at DeLianis. He sets at the letters. And the 1-2, swinging a chopper over the head of Casey O'Laughlin into right field. Matulia on his horse, touches first base, chugging into second. He slides in safely. Second double of the night. One of the hustle variety for Phil Matulia. Why doesn't he start hitting for the cycle all over again? He started his cycle with a double. He's now 5 for 5. And if Matulia isn't Northwoods League Player of the Night, when all the games around the league wrap up tonight, I don't know what to tell you. Rivets lead it 9-8. Top of the 8th inning. Here's Wade Elliott. He's 1 for 4 in the first pitch to him. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 0-1. Elliott had a 2 RBI double in the first. A single, for his only hit. The kick in the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch that tailed away from the right-handed batter, and it's quickly 0-2. Seems as if Ryan Green may come back out for another inning of relief work in the bottom of the 8th, bridging the gap to Rivets closer Tucker Shalley. Looks like maybe Cade Turner's warming up right now. Still no outs here in the top of the 8th, and the 0-2 is bounced in there to Elliott. He lays off. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Daniel Cantu waits on deck. DeLianis, the long and wiry right-hander, standing at 6 foot. Sets at the letters, gives a look at Matulia, and here comes the 1-2. Swung on and lined into deep left field. Over is Lane, and he gives way for the center fielder, McKay Barney, who makes the grab, spins, and chucks it back into the infield. That's the first out of the inning. Matulia stays at second. More good contact from Wade Elliott, but he has struggled as of late. No multi-hit games in his last handful of starts for Rockford. But no less, the Screws lead it 9-8. Top of the 8th inning, 1 down, runner in scoring position for Daniel Cantu in the first pitch to the left-handed batter. Misses down and outside. Cantu grounded out his first time, walked in the second, lined out to left in the fourth, and singled and scored in the sixth. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss on a fastball inside, and it's 1-1. Back in the bottom of the seventh inning, we saw an ending ground out from Tommy Benson, who made the play to Brian Fuentes, but before that, we saw a very bizarre play. Here's the 1-1 from DeLeannis, swinging a chopper up the first base side, foul. We'll do it again. But on a ground ball off the bat of Dustin Crenshaw to Brody Harding, Harding threw to second to Wade Elliott to get the first out of a double play to cut down Vince Bianchina. And then on the relay throw to first base, originally Rex Eggstrand signaled Crenshaw out, but then, or safe, and then he signaled him out when nobody in the press box was looking. And so it was a 1-2-3 inning. The 1-2 to Cantu is swung on and missed, and that's the second out of the top of the eighth inning. First strikeout for DeLeannis in his first inning of work. Matulia remains on second base. He might be the hottest man on the planet right now, 5 for 5, hitting for the cycle and then some. Here's Tommy Benson. Rivets lead by 1. 9 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors. 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors for Kenosha. First pitch to Benson. Check swing, and he held up. And it's 1-0. That appeal went down to the third base umpire, Connor McKenzie, who's standing behind the mound. And now I'm not entirely sure what good that does to have McKenzie make the call. He doesn't have a good angle there. But hey, why not still appeal if you're Kenosha? Here's the kick in the 1-0. Fastball misses outside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Tommy Benson has walked twice and singled once. 1 for 2 on his day. He's continued to be productive with the Rivets. DeLeannis comes set at the letters and deals to the left-handed batter. Swinging a foul ball off the catcher, Stevenson. He appears to be all right. But it bounced all the way up the third base line. Chase Eastep, the third baseman, in to gather it and toss it out of play. The count is 2-1. Benson is a patient hitter, but if he gets in hitters' counts, it's not shocking to see him swing away on 2-0 or even 3-0. So he'll likely be in a hunting mode here, maybe searching for a fastball from DeLeannis. Here comes the 2-1. Curveball chopped foul behind the plate. That's back even at 2 apiece. Nice crowd on hand on a Tuesday night. There's nothing like the subtle buzz of a crowd at a baseball game. And here in Kenosha, they have that buzz almost every single game. Good crowds for them all season long. 3rd in the league in attendance. DeLeannis sets at the belt and now steps off to run through the signs again with Luke Stevenson. A check at the out-of-town scoreboard. Kokomo Jackrabbits have defeated the Kalamazoo Growlers 4-3 in Kokomo. Battle Creek ahead 18-7 on the Wisconsin Woodchucks at C.O. Brown Stadium. So after Battle Creek finishes last in the first half, they start the second half in grand fashion on their way to a victory there. Green Bay ahead of Lakeshore 8-0 in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-2 grounded up the middle, gobbled up by Crenshaw behind the second base bag, and the throw gets away from O'Laughlin. Matulia scores from second base, and Benson is safe at first. That'll be an error on Casey O'Laughlin as the throw was in time, and it bounced off of his glove. So that'll be an unearned run, but Matulia comes around to score, and the Rivets pick up an insurance run. It's now 10-8 in the top of the 8th inning. Rivets pulling ahead now. Their offense is really humming. Benson stays on first base, and here's Brian Fuentes, righty on righty, in the first pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in. Fuentes leans away from it, and it's 1-0. Fuentes homered in the first, grounded out in the third, was hit with a pitch in the fifth, and had a sacrifice fly in the sixth. So he's got 3 RBIs. 1-0, cut on and missed. Back even at 1 apiece. More score checks. Traverse City and Wisconsin Rapids rained out at Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids. They'll make that one up tomorrow as part of a doubleheader, 7 innings apiece. Here comes the 1-1 from DeLeanis. Misses outside, snap throw down to first, not in time. Benson back in there. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike on the power hitting freshman from Indiana State, Brian Fuentes. Fuentes rests the bat above his right shoulder. Benson goes, pitch misses high. The throw down is into center field. Benson slides in but stops, as the throw just didn't touch anybody or anything out of the hand of Stevenson, right to the center fielder, Barney. So a good read by Benson to keep it right there. He swipes second. The Rivets have another insurance run in scoring position. No action in the Rivets bullpen now, so I presume Ryan Green will come out for another frame of work. Trying to get the ball to Rivets closer Tucker Shalley. The kick in the 3-1, misses inside. Fuentes turns away, and it's a 2-out walk. Another 2-out base runner for Rockford. And the top of the 8th, they lead it 10-8 on the back of Phil Matulia, who was hit for the cycle along with another double. He's 5 for 5. He has scored the Rivets' lone run in this 8th inning. And now with 2 down, here's Tyler Hawkins, redshirt freshman from Louisville. Is 1 for 4. Struck out his first time up to get the fans discounted beer as the beer batter. And looking at the Rivets lineup, Hawkins perhaps the no-brainer. Team leader with 34 strikeouts. Righty on righty. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. Dusk has descended upon southern Wisconsin. Navy blue night sky behind shining stadium lights. Here's the 0-1 from DeLeanis. Runs up and in. Hawkins turns away from it, and Stevenson made the catch but then pretended like the ball got away from him. Didn't fool either of the Rivets base runners, but a valiant effort. 1-1 on Hawkins. One of the fastest runners on the Rivets team. Has tried to bunt for a hit earlier in this game. Here's the 1-1. Fastball taken for a called strike. Right down the middle, and it's 1-2. Perhaps more remarkable than Hawkins' strikeout numbers, now 34 on the season, is the fact that he has just 3 walks. One of the lowest totals for qualified batters in the league. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and DeLeanis sets down Tyler Hawkins for his 2nd strikeout of the night. But the Rivets add 1 after Phil Matulia doubles to start the inning and comes around to score on a Kenosha error. Our new score, Rivets 10, Kenosha 8 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Rockford Rivets out in front of the Kenosha Kingfish, 10-8 in the first game of the second half. The Screws starting the second half of the season in grand fashion. A back-and-forth battle, but the Rivets have led since the 6th inning when Phil Matulia tied the game with a solo home run to complete the cycle. And then the Rivets pulled ahead on a sacrifice fly by Brian Fuentes. Ryan Green back out for another inning of work, and he deals the first pitch low and away to Chase Estep. And it's 1 ball and no strikes on the former Rivet. Estep has had a big summer debut, homered in the 2nd inning, and the 1-0. Taken for a called strike in the lower half of the zone. 1-1. So Estep homered in the 2nd, reached on an error and scored in the 4th, and then flied out to left field in the 5th. Green rocks and delivers. The 1-1 fastball misses outside. Estep adjusts his helmet, calls for time, and time's back out, and the 1-2 is chopped back to Green. He fields and flips in time to Brian Fuentes at first base for out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th. Good play by Green on a weak tapper. And here's the 9-batter, Xavier Watson. Watson is 1 for 3. Had an RBI single his last time in the 5th to snap an 0 for 19 stretch for the redshirt freshman from Illinois. First pitch, breaking ball just misses inside. A great pitch from Green. It sent Watson leaning out of the way of the pitch. But it's 1-0. Green with a herky-jerky delivery. And the 1-0 is a fastball that runs inside. It's 2-0. Bullpen is getting loose for the Rivets. Green turns and delivers. Swing and a foul off the hand of the catcher McGill. And it's 2-1. McGill behind the plate tonight, sporting Drew Stengren's Central Michigan catcher's helmet. 2-1 from Green. Swing and a miss on a changeup on the outer half of the plate, and it's 2 apiece. Stengren, one of just 2 catchers on the Rivets roster at the moment. Joaquin Monque, a USF Bull, due to arrive in about a week. Kicking the 2-2, swung on in a softly gloved chopper. Throw to first by Benson, not in time. It was a soft tapper down to third base. Tommy Benson tried to make the play barehanded and then throw to first, but he could not get a speedy Watson. So it's a 2-hit day for the redshirt freshman from Illinois after he didn't have one in 5 games. So the tying run comes to the plate in the form of McKay Barney. Barney, the leadoff batter. Barney with 1 hit today. Overall, he is 1 for 3 with a walk. Left-handed batter, first pitch to him. He drops down a bunt right back to the mound. Green fields, throws quickly to first. Not in time to get a hustling Barney. He bunts for a hit, and it's back-to-back singles in the bottom of the 8th with 1 down. Rivets leading 10-8, and here comes Rivets pitching coach and acting manager Doug Coe. And Coe will make the call to the bullpen. He takes the ball from Ryan Green, who made a nice summer season debut. And we'll have the details on the new pitcher for the Rivets, Elijah Sanchez, after a brief break. Or it's Tanner Mink, correction on that. Tanner Mink into the ballgame for the Rivets. We'll tell you about him after a short break. Rivets lead 10-8 in the bottom of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. In the midst of the bottom of the 8th inning in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Rivets leading by 2, but there's 2 on and 1 out. In the 8th frame here for Kenosha, the Rivets go to the bullpen. Acting manager Doug Coe calls upon Tanner Mink to relieve Ryan Green. Tanner Mink, the right-hander from South Florida, has an ERA of 7.50 in 5 appearances and 6 innings pitched. He faces his USF Bowl teammate, Carmine Lane here. Big spot, righty on righty in the first pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 1. Mink a little bit of a harder thrower than Ryan Green, who went 2 1/3. Has yet to allow a run, but he's responsible for both runners on base. A ground ball induced by Mink could end the inning. The Rivets have turned double plays in back-to-back frames. Here's the set in the 0-1. Breaking ball taken by Lane outside, and it's 1-1. Lane and Mink facing each other for the first time this summer. Mink has the sign, sets at the belt, and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball misses outside. McGill thought about throwing down to first base, but the first baseman Fuentes was not near the bag, and Mink is behind 2-1. The USF Bulls made it to Super Regionals in the NCAA tournament after being picked to finish last in the American Conference. They had one heck of a run. Mink sets and delivers. Fastball runs inside, and Lane gives a look out at Mink as if to say, come on, man. Throw an inside fastball? But it's a hitter's count for him on 3-1. Lane is homered tonight. 3-run blast in the 4th inning, along with 2 singles, so he's 3 for 4. Here's the set and the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and popped foul down the right field line and out of play. So the count is full. This could be a turning point late in this game. The Rivets lead at 10-8. They've led since the 6th inning. Mink from the stretch. Gazes in for the sign. He comes set and comes home with a payoff pitch. Down and away, and that's ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Casey O'Laughlin. Xavier Watson moves to third. McKay Barney, the tying run, up to second base. Carmine Lane, the go-ahead run on first base, and Casey O'Laughlin climbs in the box. O'Laughlin is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk and 2 groundouts. First pitch to the lefty. Runs upstairs, gets away from McGill, and here comes Watson from third base. He comes in to score, and it's a 1-run ball game. The tying run, and McKay Barney moves up to third base. And it's 1-0 on Casey O'Laughlin. Rivets infield draws in. O'Laughlin has hit 2 ground balls on the infield today, so we'll see if Tanner Mink can induce another one. He sets at the belt. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A home run hack from O'Laughlin, and it's even at 1-1. Down in the Rivets bullpen, the throwing has not stopped. Tucker Shalley, the closer, getting loose. On Sunday, he picked up a 5-out save at Fond du Lac. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a change of pace from Mink that time, and he's out in front, 1-2. A great pitch from Mink. Looking for a big second out with a tying run on third. Rivets lead, 10-9. Here comes the 1-2 from Tanner Mink. Gets on the way. Swing and a miss. He got him. Casey O'Laughlin set down on strikes for the first time tonight. And that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Kingfish with already 1 run in on a wild pitch. Xavier Watson scoring from third base. But the tying run remains on third. McKay Barney 90 feet away. Carmine Lane on second base is the go-ahead run. And Luke Stevenson steps in the right-handed batter's box, trying to be the hero. Mink from the stretch, and the first pitch to the junior from Xavier. Breaking ball runs inside, taken for ball one. Rivets looking to open the second half with a victory. Everybody's records reset for the second half. Everybody's got a new chance at making the playoffs. Here's the kick and the 1-0. In there for a called strike, painting the outside corner. And it's one apiece on Stevenson. Rivets acting manager Doug Coe on the top step of the first base dugout. Rivets skipper JT Scara serving game 2 of a 3-game suspension. Mink fires the 1-1. Breaking ball, tapped down to third base, backhanded by Benson. The throw across is down the line. It gets away from Fuentes. Barney in to score. Lane in to score behind him. And the Kingfish lead just like that. 11-10 in the bottom of the 8th. A great play by Tommy Benson at third base on a sharply hit ground ball, but his throw pulls Brian Fuentes off the first base bag and then some. Throwing error on Benson there allows both runs to score. And now another insurance run is out there for the Kingfish on first base in Luke Stevenson. Here's the first pitch to Vince Bianchina. And it misses for ball one on a fastball. Bianchina is he's 0 for 3. Walked his last time in the 7th. Kick and the 1-0, hack and a miss. And a foul tip got a piece of McGill. Foul ball right into McGill, who rests his hands on his knees and now gets up to shake it off. Doug Coe out to check on McGill. Grabs him by the chest protector. Looking into McGill's eyes, perhaps to check for a concussion, and McGill points to his shoulder, saying that, got a piece of my body. Doug Coe says, good enough for me, and he paces back to the first base dugout. In case you're just joining us, boy, have you missed a roller coaster ride. Rivets now trailing 11-10. As Kenosha scores 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th after the Rivets had led since the 6th inning. Tanner Mink giving it away. He sets in the 1-1 to Bianchina. Swung on and slapped foul into the parking lot, and it's 1-2. Now looking ahead to the Rivets' last chance in the top of the 9th inning. It'll be Brody Harding, Grant McGill, and Shamar Page. 8-9-1. And if there's anybody you want at the plate tonight, if you're Rockford, it's Phil Matulia, who is 5 for 5. He's already hit for the cycle, and he would be due up 4th in the inning. But here in the bottom of the 8th, Stevenson off of first base. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying out of the hands of Bianchina, and the inning is over. Tanner Mink strikes out Bianchina to end the inning, but the Kingfish score 3 times, including 2 unearned runs, to take the lead, and they lead 11-10. Last chance for the Rivets coming up after a short break on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Kenosha Kingfish 11, Rockford Rivets 10, going to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Screws as they try to come out on top of the first game of the second half in the Northwoods League season. It's been a roller coaster battle, but the Kingfish regain the lead from the Rivets bullpen, scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, including 2 unearned to take the lead. And now Harry DeLeanis is out here to nail it down. First pitch to Harding. Fastball misses down and away. It'll be Brody Harding, Grant McGill, and Shamar Page. 8-9-1 due up for Rockford. Phil Matulia would be the 4th batter due up. There's a pinch hit batter on deck. It's Phil Matulia. And the 1-0 runs inside and hits Brody Harding. Harding gets hit with a breaking ball and sprints down to first base, and the tying run is aboard to start the top of the 9th inning. And here's Josue Urdaneta, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State. Started the night as the Rivets' first base coach, and now he comes into the ball game as a pinch hitter, batting for Grant McGill. It sure would be fitting for this ball game to end in comeback fashion for the Rivets. It's been back and forth all night. Starting in the first 2 innings, the Rivets jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first. Kenosha cut it down with 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Rivets scored twice more in the second. Kenosha with 1 more in the bottom of the second. Then they took the lead with a 4 spot in the fourth, including a 2-run home run from Carmine Lane. Rivets took the lead back in the 6th inning with a home run from Phil Matulia to complete his cycle and a sacrifice fly from Brian Fuentes. And then the Rivets letting up the lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. So here's Josue Urdaneta with Brody Harding off of first base. In the first pitch, Urdaneta tries to bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Urdaneta, one of the best hitters for average and quickest players for Rockford. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Quick throw over to first base, and Harding dives back safely. DeLeanis in his 2nd inning of work has allowed 1 hit and gave up an unearned run in the 8th inning. Rivets trying to touch him up for more. Here's the set and the 0-1. Urdaneta takes strike 2. Off-speed pitch out over the heart of the plate. Maybe Josue thought it was a little high, but it's 0-2. Urdaneta taps his cleats with his bat, spins it around the left side, gazes out at DeLeanis. Urdaneta hitting just .218 now this summer. Started hot, has cooled down a little bit lately. Harding with a 4-step lead off of first base. The set and the 0-2 delivery. Misses up and away. There's an intensity to this game at Simmons Field that the fans have taken part in. Making some noise here now, but you feel the anticipation with each pitch. Another check on Harding. He dives in safely. Good move from DeLeanis, the big right-hander. Harding with stolen base speed. We'll see if he goes. A fan prompts DeLeanis to throw the heater. We'll see if he does. Swung on and fouled back. And it's still 1-2. Brody Harding, the tying run on first base. Rivets trailing 11-10. Urdaneta taps the plate twice. Standing at 5'9". Great speed from both sides of the plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's the first out of the 9th inning. Urdaneta set down on strikes in his pinch hit appearance here. And the Rivets are down to their final 2 outs. 3 strikeouts for DeLeanis now. Rivets trail 11-10, and here's the leadoff batter, Shamar Page. But as it stands right now, Phil Matulia, the man who's 5 for 5, is scheduled to come up. He's waiting on deck. Matulia has already hit for the cycle. First pitch to the lefty Page. Fastball misses up and away. 1-0. So now if you're Doug Coe, Rivets acting manager and usually pitching coach, third base coach here, the question becomes, do you send Harding to take the double play out of order? Do you take that gamble? I don't know. DeLeannis sets the letters. And the 1-0. Fastball misses outside. DeLeannis squats after his delivery in frustration. And it's 2-0. DeLeannis knows what's coming on deck. Matulia doubled off DeLeannis last inning. Page holds the bat out, brings it to his shoulder. Now the 2-0 pitch, swung on and popped up in foul territory. Long run for the first baseman O'Laughlin in front of the Rivets dugout. That one drops into the first row of seats. It's 2-1. Page paces around the batter's box, around home plate. The Kenosha pitcher, DeLeannis, the catcher, Stevenson, and first baseman O'Laughlin all converged, trying to give themselves a chance to record the second out of the inning. But still one out. 2-1 count on the Rivets leadoff batter, Shamar Page. Brody Harding on first base. Kenosha middle infield at double play depth. Here's the kick and the 2-1. Misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike with Phil Matulia waiting on deck. Matulia has got to be the consensus Northwoods League player of the night. 5 for 5. But Shamar Page has got to get us there. Here's the kick in the 3-1. It misses low. Third walk of the ball game for Shamar Page. And that could be the biggest of the night. And that brings Phil Matulia to the plate with the game on the line. The tying run is Brody Harding on second base. The go-ahead run is Shamar Page on first. Phil Matulia with 3 home runs this summer. And now 16 RBIs after a 5 for 5 night so far, including going for the cycle. First pitch to the lefty. Fastball inside, 1-0. If you're DeLeannis, I don't know what the approach is because you can't intentionally walk him to load the bases. Wade Elliott waiting behind him. Daniel Cantu behind Elliott. Good bats there. So maybe you just pitch around him. Don't leave anything out over the heart, but it's easier said than done. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball runs inside again. Matulia raising the hands to avoid that pitch. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The crowd growing increasingly anxious. What a victory this would be for Rockford to start the second half. They trail by 1. It's 11-10, top of the 9th inning. Rivets down to their final 2 outs. Here's the set and the 2-0. Swinging a chopper down the first base line, foul. It's 2-1. Matulia will almost certainly be hunting fastball here, as he generally does early in counts. Still a hitter's count for him, 2 balls and 1 strike. And now Luke Stevenson wants time. And he's going to head out to the mound to talk things over with his right-hander, Harry DeLeannis. DeLeannis has 1 save on the year, and it came back on June 27th against Kalamazoo in a 17-7 Kenosha win. DeLeannis went 3 innings, so he got the save for that reason. So he's not saved a close game. Mound meeting is over. Matulia back into the box. Gazing out at his opponent. He has crushed the baseball today. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses high. And it's 3-1. And you can bet that Matulia is going to be ready to swing away if he gets a good pitch. He taps the plate, adjusts his black batting helmet with blonde flowing hair running out of the back. DeLeannis sets the letters and comes home with a 3-1, swinging a foul ball. Matulia was on it, and now the count has run full. Can DeLeannis retire the Kingfish's kryptonite all night long. Metulia 5 for 5. Game on the line here. Harding on second. Page on first. Rivets down by 1. 1 out in the top of the 9th. DeLeanis has the sign. Here's the payoff pitch. The runners go. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. And the Rivets are down to their final out. The first time that Metulia has been retired all night comes in the biggest spot of the game. But the tying run is moved up 90 feet. Harding to third base. Page to second. And Jake Donahue is going to come in as a pinch runner for Shamar Page at second base. Donahue in to run. 2 strikeouts from Harry DeLeanis in this top of the 9th inning. Rivets with a tying run on third base. That's Brody Harding. The go-ahead run now represented by Jake Donahue at second, running for Shamar Page. And now it comes down to Wade Elliott, who is 1 for 5. Had a 2 RBI single in the first. Righty on righty matchup. The first pitch from DeLeanis. Fastball misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. First base is open. Daniel Cantu waits on deck if we get there. Tucker Shalley, the Rivets closer, is ready in the bullpen if we get there. The kick in the 1-0. Misses down and away. Wade Elliott out in front 2-0. The entire Kingfish bullpen on its feet down the third base line. Same can be said for the dugout. And now the home plate umpire, Matthew Metcalf, steps out from behind home plate and waves the Kenosha bullpen away from the third base line. Hitters count for Elliott. DeLeanis kicks and delivers. Fastball paints the outer half. Elliott taking all the way there. It's 2-1. A crowd of 1,783 strong getting fired up. DeLeanis trying to nail down the save in a seesaw battle. He sets. 2-1 pitch. Misses high. And it's 3-1 on Wade Elliott. DeLeanis was in a 3-1 count. On Phil Metulia, but he came back for the strikeout. Greg Ziegler, a pinch hitter, waits on deck. DeLeanis working from the left side of the rubber. And time is called. The crowd is silent, in suspense. A base hit could give the Rivets the lead. A strikeout or any out wins the ball game for the Kingfish. 3-1 from DeLeanis. Runs inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 9th with the Rivets trailing by 1. And here comes Greg Ziegler, a right-handed batter from Missouri State, coming up with a game on the line. Jake Donahue, the go-ahead run on second base. Brody Harding, the tying run on third base. And here comes Kingfish pitching coach Quentin McGrath. Nobody throwing in the Kingfish bullpen. So this is all on Harry DeLeanis. The Kingfish took the lead in this one in the bottom of the 8th, thanks to 2 unearned runs on a throwing error from the third baseman Tommy Benson. All coming with 2 outs. Rockford and Kenosha starting the second half in thrilling fashion. And now the game rests on the shoulders of Greg Ziegler. Ziegler, a 143 batter this summer with an on-base percentage of .247 with 11 RBIs. However, one of those RBIs was a game winner against these Kenosha Kingfish on June 10th. A sacrifice fly won it for him back at Rivet Stadium. Now here it's a righty-on-righty matchup. Harding on third base in the first pitch. Swung on and chopped down the third base line, foul. 0-1. Ziegler transferring from Missouri State to Johnson County Community College this fall. Takes some check swings. Climbs in the right-handed batter's box. He's struggled all summer, but he's got the chance to be a hero and start the second half with a bang. Here's the 0-1 to him. Swung on and flied into center field. This could do it. McKay Barney camps under it and makes the grab to end the ball game. The Rivets strand the bases loaded in the top of the ninth and fall in heartbreaking fashion. 11-10 to start the second half. Phil Matulia hits for the cycle, goes 5 for 6, but it's all for naught as the Rivets fall 90 feet short and another heartbreaker. We'll be back with the totals and to wrap it up after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Welcome back to historic Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where the Rockford Rivets have dropped the first game of the second half in heartbreaking fashion by a final of 11-10. Here are the final line scores. First for the victorious Kenosha Kingfish, 11 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors, and 5 left. For the Rivets, 10 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors, and 10 left on base, including the bases loaded in the top of the 9th to end the ball game. The winning pitcher is Harry DeLeanis, who stranded the bases loaded, went 2 innings out of the bullpen, allowed 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned in the 8th inning, walked 3, and struck out 4. For the Rivets, Tanner Mink gets the loss as he was tossing when the Rivets allowed 2 unearned runs to give away the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mink and Ryan Green both had a hand in that catastrophe as Green put on the runners ahead of Mink coming into the ball game. He allowed Xavier Watson and McKay Barney on base. Barney was the tying run, and then Carmine Lane was walked by Mink, and he would come around to score the go-ahead and winning run as the Rockford Rivets fall to 0-1 to open the second half of the season. Overall, their record falls to 15-21, while the Kingfish improve to 20-15. The Rivets and Kenosha finishing this game up in front of a crowd of 1,783 and a game time of 3.5 hours and 4 minutes. So 3:34 for all those keeping track at home. Next up for both these squads, well, we're going to do it again tomorrow, and that one should be just as good, as the Rivets will send out Forrest Barnes for the start, and we'll find out who will start for Kenosha here in a little bit, probably later tonight. But that game will get underway at 6:05, same time, same place. I'll have the call right here for you on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. But for now, this is Larry Larson saying so long and good night from historic Simmons Field in Kenosha. Again, the final. The Rivets strand the bases loaded in the 9th inning, and despite a Phil Matulia cycle, they fall 11-10. So long, everybody.